Right, everyone, we are now live.
Boom. Boom. You got debated. You we got that sound alert, I gotta make my own.
Liam,
Yeah.
shh the fuck up. Staff that, yeah, what it is, it's because I've disabled sound alerts, and the sound alerts is basically on, oh, it's not active. Put a link in, and then Nightbot's banned the bot again. It happened last fortnight, it's fine. It only happens at the start, yeah. Hello, by the way. Turn Phasmophobia challenge off. I'm too lazy. So if someone redeems it, they're dumb. Because it specifically says Phasmo challenge, but it's fine. So welcome everyone. We are doing episode 22. Doing pretty damn well. Because I think last campaign ended on like session 30, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I'm actually quite proud of it. But
would have ended sooner, but deck of many things.
yeah, that definitely sped up the process by about 10 or 15 sessions, but it is what it is. And it was in your guys' favour anyway, so...
We'll have to give an explanation one day of what actually happened in the last campaign, so people get when we're making these comments.
Just do like a podcast where we sit here for 2 hours just reminiscing from session 1 onwards. Like, do you remember that time we found Daryl and like shafted his core? Yeah, I remember that too.
And what?
When you were fiddling with his core and his back panel.
He was me.
No, that wasn't any of us. That was somebody who's not here right now.
I know, but you guys as a collective.
I'm being fiddled with.
Oh my god.
But
he was more than happy to open that panel then.
Yeah. Oh, that boy.
It does enjoy being fiddled with, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hello, dealer.
All for fiddling.
Fluff, thank you for kicking my books about. But last session, you guys travelled from Theidlemore, the town just north of where you currently are in Skelfer. You rode the derrick down the stream for 3 days. You, on the way, was under torrential storm rains, and Cass, you noticed in the south a number of miles away, this huge anomaly is probably the best way to explain it, happened in the sky, in which the collection of lightning and a pretty much borderline explosion happened in the sky, leaving a hole in the clouds and the storms, leaving clear sky behind. Okay, Adam, we'll see you in a sec. A couple of you were pointed out to this and saw and made aware, but much more than that, you aren't aware. You kind of rough estimated that cyan circle that's on the map is roughly where that took place. You're not 100%, you don't know. You eventually made your way into the town, and Boomer eagerly went off to look for his potential teachers in the art of alchemy and different studies like that. And other people went in search of different activities to do, particularly Cass, who wanted to pay respects to the young guard that had died way back when your adventure first started. Only the guard's not dead. He's very much alive and well, which is perplexing because on the travel from Skjalfa to Fjöldmore, when you first left this town all those months ago, you saw him die. You all, with the exception of Grey and Boomer, saw him die. You buried him at the side of the road. And Persephone and Grey both staked out the house of the family afterwards to try and gain confirmation and see if there was anything up, and very much saw this young Joseph alive and seemingly well with a pet dog. More investigation was done and looking into it, which I'm sure the players will divulge in a moment. we're going to start the session with you guys meeting back up in the tavern, the Jaunty Jester, where you guys are staying. The same tavern you were originally arrested in and started your journey together as a group.
Pre-stream.
Pre-stream, yeah. This was in session 0.
Oh.
To collaborate your findings on this weird set of circumstances you find yourselves in. I sense a wizard at work. Possibly, Dilo, possibly. We'll just have to see. But we'll start the session here. So, you guys are all sat at a table together in the tavern that's getting busy. It's early evening, the sun is setting. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Just to make Danny's day before we do anything else.
Okay.
Danny,
Yes.
when we were aboard the Derek,
Yes.
how far above sea level were we?
What, as in, like...
Wait, what?
What? Yeah. As in, like, how high up from the actual water level
Yes.
you are when you're stood on top of Derek?
Yes.
Probably 20, 30 feet up.
About 20, 30 feet. Okay. And yeah, essentially, Danny,
Yeah.
I found another Michael's Fucked Your World building up a little bit. There is absolutely no way over 100 miles away we could see the storm. The most you can see at that height is about 3 miles away.
Is that where the horizon would be?
Yeah. The horizon from about 2 meters above water level, about sea level, is about 3 miles. It goes up to 12 miles at about 100.
It was in the sky, though.
Do you want to know what I say to that?
Fuck you and my rules.
Yep. That's exactly.
A wizard did it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No. At the end of the day, it was thousands of miles in the air. This occurred. So.
Also, how big is Derek then? If we were 20 to 30 feet above the waterline, he must be massive.
Derek,
He's a big boy.
Derek is 35 foot wide by about 60 foot in length.
So he's literally like a skyscraper.
We are not getting into this. We are not getting into this. You guys shut the fuck up.
Oh, well, how many floors has he got?
He's got one lower deck level.
What?
I am
That
not.
doesn't make any sense.
I am not getting
Yeah, it's
into.
not going to be 30 foot high. then.
I am not.
No,
Getting
no.
into this with you fuckers. You need to shut the fuck up right
Danny? Danny, did you say thousands of miles up?
Yes.
That's where the explosion was, yeah.
Well, if up means into space.
Oh yeah, thousands of miles.
Because I thought the atmosphere was about 60, is it 62, 65 miles from Earth to the class's boundary of space.
we break all the stuff. So what did we find out
How far
during
into
our days
space are we
discovery?
going?
Carl.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. Rose.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. Michael. Shut the fuck up.
You know what happens when you invited us this campaign, Sally. You know it's going to happen.
I do. I am aware. I'm just gonna make anti-fucking everything people things.
So,
Shut
in
up
the meanwhile,
and roll
meantime,
your
what did
dice.
everybody discover?
Shut up.
Danny doesn't know what boats are.
Danny doesn't know really how high space is.
Also, the curvature of an Earth.
Moving on swiftly.
Hold on. I thought the Earth was
Well,
flat.
Can I hear a dragon?
The hyper-aggressive and mildly horny Tarrasque appears on the edge of the horizon that is 3 fucking miles away.
Ah, we've got plenty of time to leg it.
After landing
Yeah.
from space that is 60 miles in the fucking air. I'm coming to kill you all.
nice that you were king yourself to an angry, horny Tarrasque, Danny.
Not me! Fuck you.
Oh no. Don't come boom.
Derailed to the session already.
We have properly.
You're welcome. Oh yeah.
Bravo, I'm impressed. Michael.
You are in the Jaunty Jester. You are sat at a table. It is busy. It is early evening. You motherfuckers, do your shit. Fuck.
Right, I think there's a meme for this. Bear with me.
Don't.
Well, anyway,
One thing I am going to do is I'm going to show you the Scialfa town map that I've made. Although I'm sure you're going to find some fucking hole with it.
Okay, I take your challenge.
is that a church? Ooh, actually, that looks better.
No, the building you pinged first is actually the Linker Skjal Manor.
Probably a bad idea, can't it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh well, I'm sure you can find a church.
I'm looking now. There's a very nice wizard tower looking building. But anyway, I need a wizard or a magic user because we sort of feel weird.
Yeah, you're not going to really get much chance of a wizard. In
I
these
was talking
parts.
about you. Talking about you, Rob. That Joseph we were sent to look after.
Yes.
Well, I spied on him in his bedroom.
Ooh,
Don't give me that eye. And he had some sort of stone that he was making notes on, and he seemed to be talking to it. And then it levitated, glowed orange, and he's got this little dog. And when the stone glowed orange, the dog's eyes glowed red.
Yes. He had a bulldog, like a British bulldog looking dog.
And
Right, okay. What did the stone look like? Was it a tablet, a small stone, a rock?
Looked like a rock.
rock.
Like a
And,
like
he,
a normal rock you'd see outside.
and he was writing on this rock.
Not on the rock. I think he was making notes.
Yes, that's right.
In a
He
on
was
paper.
looked like almost as if he was studying it and making notes on it and stuff. Because you could see him look at his notes, write some, look, and back and forth for the little time you watched.
Okay, so it didn't seem like he was using the rock to communicate. It seemed like he was talking to someone about the rock.
There was no one else in the room. I think he was talking at it, to it.
He wasn't talking. He was just writing.
I thought he spoke to it.
No.
Except that's what it says on my notes. Okay,
No,
so
no,
he
no.
didn't speak.
No, you saw him do something, and you saw the rock begin to levitate and glow. You saw the eyes of the dog glow, and he was writing. But other than, like, probably murmuring to himself, he wasn't actually speaking.
He was just thinking out loud.
Yeah, probably. You don't know what was said.
Yeah. But anyway, levitating glowy rocks and dogs that their eyes glow. Not really my forte.
Especially when it comes to dogs.
Nothing wrong with dogs. They smell a bit.
Yes.
Okay. So, how far did the rock levitate off the ground? Roughly?
A few inches. Probably 6 or 7 inches high. Off the desk it was on.
Okay.
So I thought I'd just
And
answer that because I
glowed
didn't tell him.
orange.
Yeah.
And the dog's eyes also glowed orange.
Reddish. Oh,
Yeah, no, you're right, red.
Okay. Was there anything else going on at the time?
not really. The rest of the house seemed normal. Parents went to bed. That's about it.
Okay. You mentioned this dog. What was this dog? What did it look like?
Small bulldog. Would I describe it as a puppy? What is it like? Is it like a miniature breed?
Not quite a puppy. Probably freshly matured physically. So it's still fairly small.
But still small.
Yeah, but it's not a pup, but it's smaller. It's got some growing.
Small enough to sit on a shoulder, though.
Yeah. Seems legit.
It definitely doesn't seem legit. Okay. So you watched as Joseph spoke to himself, mumbling under his breath, and then was using spells, and when he used those spells, the dog seemed to react at the same time by displaying red eyes.
I have no idea if he was using spells or not. It's possible. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Make any motions, and I'll do some like what looks like somatics
Yeah.
and
don't
that
think
kind
he
of
did.
thing.
No.
Damn it.
He only spoke when it happened because his hands were on the desk. One hand had the quill in it, the other was just loose. He didn't do any of the movements that Cass would demonstrate. And I'd imagine with the next question, didn't produce any particular items for it to work as well, so no material components, as you would understand.
But there are spells which are completely verbal. Did you hear anything that he said?
No. It was raining quite heavily,
And it was
and
closed
I was
window.
outside.
Oh, so you were distracted then. Understandable.
It was loud.
Okay. Well, I went to the graveyard and all I found was that they believe it to be a mistake that he died. They think it was that he didn't actually die, though we all saw him die. And now he's in a house talking to a dog whose eyes glow red. Did you meet Theon, Greytail? You did, right?
Yes.
The one who was tied up on a bed.
Yeah, that's how you met
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's the one. Did you? Yeah, you did then.
My
Okay,
response
then-
was the one who was tied up on a bed.
Yeah, that was his
Yeah, I
introduction.
understand completely. I do apologise. Yeah. Did it seem like, you know, when he had his imp there, that there was any connection, that it seemed to be familiar?
Make an intelligence check, Greytail. Just flat intelligence. I mean, from the very little you saw of... Because you didn't really see Theon's imp too much, let alone in action, you just saw it.
It was in the first fight, but it didn't do anything, I don't
No,
think.
it didn't do anything. In terms of an animal companion, sure, but in terms of anything else, you really don't know.
No idea.
Swear he got dismissed when Bone Devils were drawn out.
Yeah, essentially, Greytail never saw it in action to garner any enough information or anything.
Well, I mean, the working theories I had until you mentioned that was that there's a necromancer in town, you know, because magic users are really, well, people don't like them around here, do they? So I thought, oh, it might be a necromancer trying to raise up dead. But based on that weird, creepy dog, I think maybe this does have an attachment to an entity, not exactly the same as Theon's, but maybe another entity that can raise individuals from the dead. Did you notice anything else about the scene? Any weird sigils, markings, strange glowing lettering? Anything?
Don't believe so.
Nope. You didn't look.
Yeah, just a rock that glowed.
Maybe. He was definitely dead, and he was dead for a long period of time. Danny, can I roll some time to check, to look at resurrection magic, to see if it's going to be anything along those lines? If I can make any connections between my experience with resurrections and cloning and all that kind of stuff?
Make an Arcana
And
check.
not.
Make an Arcana check. And hello, Mars Cakes. Thank you for coming in. I'm doing really well. I won't be as verbally talkative because during D&D sessions I tend to let the characters have it. And I'll talk in chat and stuff, but while we're just waiting on Rose here to do a roll, it's fine. I can say hello and stuff. And thank you, Fib, for the raid of 7. Much appreciated, you sexy beast, you. But how are you doing, Mars?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have my character sheet open.
No,
And
it's
now
fine.
I'm
Take your time.
wondering.
Take your time, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're just judging you
Arcana?
very intensely. Yes, Arcana, please.
Stop judging me.
We're judging.
Oh god, I tell you, I'm gonna roll low all week. Like, third session in a row, I'm rolling terribly.
No worries, man.
But 16.
Fib, take your time. And thank you, Fig Nut Pepper. That is a username and a half. Thank you, Fig Nut Pepper, for the follow. With an Arcana check of 16. It's more than possible, but given how long the person was dead, you know that this would be a higher level magic than you have access to right now. The spells in which to bring the soul back from the veil only work for short periods of time, and it requires something much, much stronger. You know at least, after burying him and leaving, and you saw the gravesite after leaving, he was dead for it. Assuming it was revived exactly the second you lost line of sight with him, at least half an hour, maybe an hour. It's a long time.
So it's not. It wouldn't be a revivify. It would be at least. We're looking at.
Raised dead or higher.
Yeah.
Possibly even past raised dead, depending on how long. Because raised dead, if I remember, it's an hour. That's off the top
That's
of my
it.
head.
It might be a resurrection or true resurrection.
Yeah.
But even then, maybe we need to have a chat with Joseph. I mean, does anybody else have any working theory?
Unless he's got a twin brother that his parents don't know about.
What if
How would a
he
mother
didn't
not know
die?
if you
We made a
twins?
mistake.
I would say it was a good theory.
What if he didn't die? What if we saw him get buried alive and he dug his way out?
Do you know the difference between alive and dead?
Yes, I know that, yeah.
Yeah, that
But
guy
we could have
was
made a
dead.
mistake.
He had no heartbeat. He was no longer breathing.
Maybe
There was no
he's
blood
tired.
pumping around his body, and then he buried him.
Liam, please say that again.
Maybe he was tired. You know, I mean,
His lungs and heart were tired too.
yeah, I mean, I think people come back to life after death. I mean, have I? I'm not sure. Actually, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Have I?
Did you
Yeah.
really
No.
just ask that question? Maybe he was just tired.
Unless
Are you jesting?
Liam, unless your druid clan back home would have performed
No, I
resurrection
don't think
rituals.
they would have. No,
in
I
terms
wouldn't
of
have.
in terms of this campaign, what you guys have seen while we've been playing, no, you have not.
No,
Yes, he
Greytail.
has. Greytail got smushed, remember?
But wasn't dead.
No, Greytail was
No,
dead.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by that big machine thing when we
The Maroons.
No.
did Exorcism Part 3.
Yes. No. You are.
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
Actually, no. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You have. My correction. Yeah. You have. Once.
Or was that Part 2?
It was.
I can't remember. We tried to exercise
It
a
was
lot.
it was the second time. But yeah. It was the Marat. Yeah. No. Yeah. You are right, Rose. Thank you for reminding me.
That's right, his spine came out of his body. I remember it vividly.
Don't remind me.
And his poor mouse died. Like, Danny, that was so important.
Don't bring a mouse to a Marat fight.
Ooh. But anyway,
What if we made a mistake? What if his heart was
we did not
beating,
make a
we just
mistake. Look,
missed it?
right, there are ways that somebody is able to basically look like they have died. You know, feign death.
Yeah.
But none of us here cast it, and then we buried him underground. Are you saying that he crawled up?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I've never been buried alive, so I don't know.
Okay, you really need to think about this. We buried him. There was no air holes, no air pockets, soil on face. There was no way on earth he would be alive.
Probably had a mouthful of it as well if he died with his mouth open.
Exactly.
Yeah, if he was alive, he would have suffocated within seconds.
Mm.
And I'm sure the
It's not a
holes in
very
his
nice
body
thing.
gave it all away.
You're right, Becca.
what we could do is if somebody who he would recognise
Yeah.
goes and talks to him, and then you can either gauge whether or not, because if he doesn't recognise you, then it's not him. And then if he does recognise you, he might just be inclined to explain anyway.
And
Well, this is
I do want to just quickly say, Liam, take an inspiration
Yeah.
point because that was hilarious as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, just the.
Spoiler.
Did he die or did he just get very mate? Just take
Yeah.
the point. That was fucking, that was amazing.
It
Carry
was
on.
so dear. It was brilliant.
Oh no, it was perfect to the character. That real playful innocence and stupidity, but also
I'm gonna write that
hilarious.
down. Dear, sad.
Oh, yeah.
Writing it down for later.
But yeah, go on, carry on. Sorry, I just needed to get that out there in case he needs it.
Well, that is another great theory, though, Greytail, is what if he isn't Joseph and it is someone wearing his face? I mean, I'm less likely to believe that one due to the fact that he's been around his family, and usually a family will say if something's going on, and his mum seemed to be believing that it was completely 100% her son.
No behavioural changes.
Well, the only other, on the opposite side of that, is that she could be that stricken with grief that she is hoping that this is her son and will do anything to believe that it is. You know, when you become delusional in order to support a theory.
Denial.
Exactly.
Grinning.
I'm sorry, what was that? There,
That was Michael who couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Oh, you said in Egypt, right? I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, do we go and talk to Joseph? Offer him help if he's got himself in a sticky situation he can't get out of? I mean, the only issue is that if he is wielding some form of arcana,
Rose,
it's going to be very difficult.
just for the sake
Yeah?
of, give me a number between 1 and 100.
100.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's. Oh no, I can't. I was gonna say something really dodgy then.
You were going to say 69, wasn't you? do you wanna
let's
say-
go for 51?
51.
Yeah. Oh, that's bloody
Nice.
close.
No, it is, and that's close enough. As you're discussing this, you'll never believe who pops in through the fucking door.
Bob the Builder?
Aye, and you know who his best friend is?
Bob the
Leon?
Tank Engine?
Joseph.
Leon?
No, it's Joseph. But no.
So there's an actual Bob in your world now who's the builder. Like, that is canon.
Don't remind me. But yeah, no, as you guys are discussing this, your passive perception is the one that picks it up, and hence why you was the one who picked the number. Not actively stealthing, but mixed in with the crowd, you just kind of catch a glimpse of like people walking in and out, and you just notice the similar features, and you look and you see Joseph. Looks a little different from when you remember him. He's got a slightly paler complexion. He's currently got like traveller's clothes on and things like that. His eyes that were brown are now a more silver colour, and the tips of his hair, where it was all short and black before, is now got like tips of like white, as if like it's been dipped in ice. But other than that, you
Oh,
see...
we've got frosted tips, guys.
Okay, yeah, Boom will start with it, so we'll have detect magic then.
Okay.
What, just in the middle of a bar? Jeez. Not here.
Okay, I'll go to the room and cast it then.
Yeah, we are still in anti-magic place, remember?
Boo.
Oh yeah, you actually see him go up to the bar, sits at one of the stalls there, and he's there. Dog's not there,
Or is he?
but you notice that he's wearing like just simple clothes, and because of the rain outside, because it's still moist. It's not heavy, torrential. He's
Moist.
wearing like a thick cloth cloak covering everything.
I'll kind of look at the others and gesture subtly that he's towards Joseph, not like, look over there! It's more like, don't be suspicious, but look.
Yeah. You just say to people, look at the bar, look who's just walked in, speak of the devil sort of thing, yeah. But yeah, you all notice he's not paying any attention to his surroundings or people. He's just currently sat at the bar. You see a drink and a small plate of food get put in front of him, like not like a full meal, but more like a snack thing. And you just see him picking at it and eating and drinking and resting.
So he's actually eating then? He's not like drinking the blood of children or something?
No, it looks like an ale. It looks like an ale of some description, and
Is that on the menu?
and some like burnt bread, like stale bread that's been purposely burnt to make like
Croutons.
Yes, that was the word I was thinking of. I nearly said breadsticks, but yeah, croutons is a better expansion. Yeah, so he's eating like croutons of some description and some ale.
Does one of you want to subtly walk past him, see if he recognises you?
I will. And I'll get up and have a toddle over, and I'll just directly say hi to him. I'll just say hi to people as I walk past.
Yeah, like going
Just-
towards the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I get to him, I'll look up and go hi. Do I get a response?
Damn. He kind of hears you and turns and goes, "Oh, yeah. Evening, and how are you?" And like just general like minor pleasantries, like the hi, how you doing? All right, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
walk past.
Yeah.
But then you see him look
Okay.
back. You see him look back at his
Okay.
food, and then you kind of like see him half turn, and then just half shake his head, and then go on. What you gonna say?
Then I say, oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm all right. Do I know you from somewhere?
Don't know. I mean, I've been here before, and I just thought I'd just come to the bar and get myself something to eat and drink myself.
No, you look familiar.
Ah,
Never mind.
maybe we have met.
No worries. So what brought you back here?
With some friends.
All right. And he kind of like he just gives that like real awkward like nod and just carries on, carrying on.
Carry
At
on,
this
my
point-
brother.
Can I lean over to Evan and just go, are you able to do the thing that allows you to sense? Yeah. Like the undead and...
I do believe I do have that ability.
You do.
Evan, you are brilliant as always. Would you mind giving a little
Checking that.
sense?
Yep, just
Yeah.
checking to be certain, and then
I'm pretty sure
I think you get it really early.
I think he gets it at level 5, which you guys are.
I think it's way before then I get that. But
Oh, is it? Because
He was level 3, isn't it?
it's a channel divinity thing, isn't it?
Divine Sense, Divine Sense I get from level 1.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so
it is.
yeah, the presence of strong evil registers your senses like a noxious odor, blah 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 blah. As an action, you can extend your awareness to detect such forces. So at the end of my turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of me. That is not behind total cover, which he's not.
No. And we should, if it's a standard sized tavern, it's not going to be 60 feet across, is it?
No, and even with where you guys are sat, yeah, no, you more than in range. And is this instantaneous?
Yep.
Okay.
One action, one round. I know everything that's
Celestial,
your
fiend,
or
undead.
undead,
Yeah. And did I hear you
and
say
any land that's
Evil.
been consecrated or desecrated with by the Hallow spell.
Okay. First of all, the ground is not consecrated. You don't sense any undead. However, you do actually sense, not from him, but more of an aura around him. Almost like like mixing oil and water, you sense both celestial and fiendish energy around him. Trying to mix and integrate, but like oil and water, refusing to.
Okay. Not undead.
I would say you're about halfway through your detect magic ritual upstairs, Boomer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I turn back to her and say, not undead, getting both a celestial and a fiendish aura from him.
Yeah, you
Or
like I said,
trying to.
you see both
Not-
the auras are actually trying to mix with each other, as if they're a part of him, but kind of bouncing off each other at the same time, given the nature of the two things.
So I will describe that too.
Yeah. Like I said, the best way to explain it is oil and water in a bottle, and you try and mix it together.
I mean, that's rather odd, unless... I mean, this is a really out there theory, unless, you know... I only know of a couple of fiends that used to be celestials, like, only that it's very infrequent that it happens, and one of those happens to be someone that we've already tangoed with.
Aha!
I hope not.
It's all coming together.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if this is one of them kind of like I'm about to do a Pepe Silva moment, but, you know. I mean, why... Or, I mean, the very other option is he wasn't just a human. This is someone who was angelic in nature. You know, one of the, oh my god. What are they called?
I'd say that would ping up more celestial in nature. I think we've had that before. Where
But it's a combination. Maybe it's it is that his race is an Azamar, because we've met Azamar, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's battling with a fiend because maybe he is changing his nature and he's talking to a bad guy. Like a bone devil, much like what Theon was, or some kind of... Just quickly turning to Greytail. Greytail, when you were looking at this dog or whatever, did it seem like it had more of a madness angle or more of a lawful kind of thing? Just general feelings. You don't have to be specific.
It seemed like a normal dog, well behaved. I believe it was just sat on the bed.
Actually, that is a good point as well, Michael.
Yep.
You would sense a very faint fiendish energy emanating nearby, very small and silent, but you can't physically see it, but you can see the aura from it.
No, that's the thing. Is I know its location.
Yeah, but you know that there is a second, because it's just reminded me, because although you physically can't see it with your eyes, you can see its aura of fiendish energy. There is a second one where it's pure fiend that's in a near vicinity to Joseph.
Where? Like, is it on his person? Is it near to us? Like, whereabouts?
It's
in the
like
cabin?
half a foot from his right foot.
That'd be the dog.
That'll be whatever's disguising itself as the dog.
Mm-hmm. You know, some people do have literally an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. Or a demon. I'm leaning more towards devil, though, with this theory. Demonic presences, you seem to see more chaos.
Seems to have come back with some kind of thing, so it could be a bargain to be made, so... We'll find out. Well, I'm sure we'll find out. Does not seem to be paying Persephone much of a mind, so...
So we're just going to leave it alone?
No, I'm telling you as it is. I presume you're the one who's going to decide. I don't know if I walk over there and attack something next to his foot, or...
I would say at this point, obviously, Persephone, you've probably come back, because
Yeah.
the conversation very quickly turned into that, that awkward standing silence, where, because, like, he doesn't quite know what to say or how to act, and he's just very, like...
Well, I'd order a drink at the bar to make it look like there's an excuse. That's the reason I was there for.
It was a
Then I'd
copper.
return.
A copper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fresh ale is a. Well, actually,
And
no, you
move
have,
what
no,
an alcohol
no.
beverage she's bought away from her.
You don't no, you don't have to pay. Remember, because you've got the right
Yeah.
from the Skulls. All drinks are free.
I'm just saying, when she gets back to the table, if she has any form of alcoholic beverage, it is moving away from her.
Probably stroppy. Oh, so unfair.
Probably why
Can't
she
believe you
probably
done
yeah.
Sorry, Michael, what did you say? You repeated.
I was about to say it was something along the lines of it would probably be like she's moves further away from the table from you. So if you actually have to get up and come over to
Oh yeah. But if I do get anywhere near towards Joseph, I'm just watching him intensely, trying to see,
Yeah.
like, if I'm picking up anything. I mean, I could pop off a detect thoughts, but then I don't know. Unless I dig, you didn't know that I'm doing it.
Well, Boomer,
Yeah.
your spell finishes, and for the next few moments, you have detect thoughts.
Detect
not
magic.
Detect magic.
you have detect thoughts as well, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got both.
Nothing.
So, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm walking obviously back to the table and obviously keeping an eye
Yes.
on him.
Make
see
a
what's
perception check, please.
Also, Danny, just for clarification, the dog was it fiendish energy? The
Yes,
thing
yes,
that was
yes,
biting
yes.
me.
Motherfucker. I just had a fucking Vimto can spit everywhere on me. Okay.
Splashing.
Splash.
Balls over the keyboard.
Thank you. I got some tissue.
Oh,
Alright, so, you have a look. Obviously, you've got your friends. You emanate different energies. But what it was, Kings, as I opened the Vimto can, it started to spit everywhere. It was like, no, fuck you, I won't go down easy. But,
Oh dear.
outside of your friends and yourself, you notice the same conflicting energies of Joseph himself. Him, as if himself has magical auras inside of him. It's not just on him. You notice an invisible, fiendish, magical essence to the floor to his right, but on him, there are two further strong magical energies. A heavily celestial something on his back, and it looks like his clothes themselves are gleaming a fiendish energy.
Ooh.
But
What I did-
an abjuration fiendish energy.
Yeah. Would I detect the dog as well?
You do. That's the essence you can't see. You can't see
Yeah.
the two items that are on him. You can't see what's actually emanating the magic. They're seemingly not visible to the naked eye. And you can also see the fiendish energy to his side on the floor that you can't see neither.
Right. Basically, I'll go back to the table, then whisper into Casper and Evan's ear
But
this
yeah,
information.
The whatever he's wearing is abjuration, so you assume some form of protection. And like I said, the thing on his back, whatever it may be, is heavily celestial and very fucking potent as well. It's no toy, whatever it is.
Is he got like a backpack or anything on his back?
Yeah, or a shield or something like that.
Nothing.
Ooh, that sounds like wings to me.
He has.
That was accurate.
Yeah. No, it looks like he's wearing standard commoner's clothes and the cloak that just goes over the top to protect it from the rain. You can you can kind of see the outline of him. It looks like he's not got anything on his back.
Yeah, because obviously I'm going to try and get as close as possible. And obviously that being capricious. Yeah. I'll try and stand out.
Yeah, well, you're able to approach. He's not paying too much attention. You can kind of see his face is twisted ever so slightly in a mix of slight confusion and deep thought, which is painfully obvious, as he's just finishing off the plate of food that's in front of him. He's not
Heavy
paying you any
special
mind.
engine. No.
If anything, you notice that he kind of glances over the room and sees looking for someone like once or twice, and then kind of just leaves it be.
Could I get a general area where he's looking at?
He's kind of scanning the room essentially, like as if he's looking for someone. But you kind of see it with that like half-cocked, confused look, like, "Hey, the fuck?" Yeah, you kind of see that look of slight confusion and amusement.
Okay, then I'll head
And the
to
reason why
tables.
I'm not asking you to roll stealth is because he's paying no attention for you specifically. He's looking at medium-sized height. He's not looking lower down because obviously you're a halfling. You
No.
blend in fairly well.
Yay! Okay, I'll carry on to the table and then relay the information.
All right then.
A heavy celestial presence on his back.
Powerful, whatever it is.
How?
Enough to go boom.
Dear God. Gods.
Yes.
Sorry.
What?
I meant as in, my God. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
You're not the god.
I'm but your god though. It's the best you're gonna get, motherfucker.
Oh.
I mean, could it be that the two energies around him is, Azmar and some kind of... Maybe he's made a deal with a fiend. For life.
Uh-oh.
And I'm assuming you're keeping a casual eye on him enough that if he does anything big, you'll
Oh,
notice.
yeah. Cass is like, when you're like paying attention to the people around you, but out of the corner of your eye, she has like got full focus on him and maybe anybody that heads or moves towards the table, dropping anything on the
Yeah.
like literally she's looking for something that's going on.
Well, I was going to say, you do notice that kind of, after he looks around a couple of times after and like been eating, he puts down a stack of silvers and coppers, says something to the bar staff, takes a swig of what's left of the ale and throws the hood up and goes to head out. And you kind of just see that look of intense thought and mild confusion.
Oh God, this is so...
I have an idea, but you're probably not going to like it.
Follow him.
Well, does he have the stone on him? I could steal it.
I
Pretty
think
good
it's just a stone. I mean, if anything, someone could bump into him right now as he goes past the table and try to keep him here for a little bit longer. He's
I could
obviously...
bump into him and put my hand in his pocket. If you can tell me which pocket it's in, it's going to be a lot easier.
It's not magical though. Boomer said that the only two things that are magical is he's got this big magical person on his back, and then his clothing seems to be magical. That's correct, isn't it?
Plus, you got the dog as well.
Stealing a dog would be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, but the dog's right by him though.
You notice as well, he doesn't lock eyes with you, but he does see Persephone as he walks out and just kind of... You kind of see that... And then you watch as, given the rolls he's made earlier, you just kind of see that, the gears turning in his head, and you know that 2-second face of, oh... As he keeps walking, you kind of see him half glance at Persephone, and then you see that the penny drop moment. He doesn't stop, but you kind of see that. Oh.
I think it's time we had a bit of a talk.
Yeah.
Would you agree? No booming, no murder, no torture, and I'll get up, follow him.
Did you look at me when you said no torture? I just want to clarify.
Yes, of course.
Are you jesting? I haven't said anything or
Wrong
insinuated. Yeah, but you looked at
But now
me.
I'm following him anyway, Danny.
Yeah.
If
You,
I'd get up and go with.
are you all
Unless
getting up and going?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, boy.
You take a step outside, Cass, as you're the first one out. And Joseph is half waiting at the end of the building and just goes, I saw you get up, come on.
I just wanted a little bit of a chat. Well, we did, sorry. And I'll kind of step out the way so my friends can exit.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can understand why.
He just kind of like half nods in agreement, like, yeah, I can see that. Can we do this somewhere else? Not in front of everyone.
It depends on where you're suggesting.
Anywhere where it's quiet.
Oh, well, I met this very quiet place earlier today. To the graveyard, I'm sure you'll feel right at home.
Kind of just gives you that. Okay. Sure. Yeah, let's go. And he will.
Sorry, that was supreme sass from Cass.
Yeah, just a fucking bit. Yikes. So he'll head off. Like, it's about 5-minute walk from where you guys are right now. He will take off. I'm assuming. Are you guys going to be level with him, behind him?
I am going to fall back a little bit to where Evan is, if I can, at one stage. You know, when it's a little bit noisier and if other people are talking to try and mask our talking.
Yes.
And I will say, if things get terrible, get close. I will, hopefully, if we can do anything with, like, raising the corpses, I can turn them away. If that makes sense. Evan.
Okay. No, I give a nod like, yeah, that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't think it will happen, but just in case, you know.
So
Yeah,
this, like,
fine.
really awkward walk where he's about 10 or 15 feet ahead of you guys. He's glancing back occasionally and just ensuring you guys are following and stuff. You eventually make your way into the graveyard. Well, he stays outside of it. He doesn't go inside. He's, like, at the threshold of the gates. Right, well, that's where you wanted, wasn't it?
Just inside a little bit, or are you not able to step on holy soil now?
I can, it's just... You do realise there's an old fogey that lives in there that may hear us.
Oh, it's alright, Nelly. He's a sweet soul. I'm pretty sure no one would actually pay attention to him. Go on then, so please.
He just kind of like throws his arms up like, whatever, and just turns and walks inside. No reaction if you were fishing for. You all
So, I'm sure.
follow
Go on,
in.
Danny,
I was
sorry.
going to say, you all follow in. He kind of half turns around and just kind of wait. Let me guess. Fancy seeing me here?
Oh, fancy seeing you anywhere.
She seems to think you died.
I know he died.
We all know he died.
I'm just trying to push the conversation on.
No,
I just blew it
he's
out.
purposefully... He's visibly awkward with this and doesn't want to have this discussion, but kind of has to at this point. Oh, she's right. Motherfucker. Stupid fucking merchants on the road.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
The stupid fucking merchants on the road caused it.
From not telling us about the will-o'-wisps. Yeah, I remember.
The whatever they
That was
were.
not really a great idea. Sorry?
The whatever they were. But no, you're not wrong.
So, we all know that part of the story. I'm a little bit more interested in the other half. Are you okay? Do you need help? Are you in trouble?
No, it would be probably easier if I show you this. Just, and he gestures to him, and he runs his right hand down the face and then down the chest, and you watch. The face and like the actual body doesn't change, but the clothes he's wearing, you watch as the illusion that was there dissipates entirely, and you see a set of splint armor made of a crimson steel with gold filigree. You watch the illusion all pull back into a half cloak of black that's on his back, and Evan, you would be the first to probably notice given your history, but you see the handle of a large sword on his back. You see the handle of it sticking above his shoulder with a hand crossbow and hand axe on his side. Well, as you're probably more cautious given how you are and stuff, probably easier to just show you everything. There's no point in hiding it.
No, I'm still missing something. I don't know about everybody else, but I mean, whilst they are very impressive foes.
How is it you're not dead?
Yeah.
These were gifts from someone who brought me back on the premise that I work, help, and I do. This is my new calling.
And may we ask, do you know who it was that brought you back?
Her name is Cyrelia.
Can you spell that for me, Danny?
And I can use it in a sentence.
Can you just give us a typing of the spelling and let's go?
There you
And
go.
would we
Cyrelia.
be able to? Yeah, would we be able to recognise the naming type?
Make a religion check, both of you. Or anyone that wishes to try and see if they understand this name.
Hang on, let me just roll with my impressive 0.
Hell yeah! Ooh! Ooh!
Yeah, I'm rolling really bad right now. That's the second 6 I've got.
Oh,
Not...
You know what?
Did
I'm
I-
going to try this.
Okay.
I'm going to try this because history check, yeah?
Religion.
Oh, religion, sorry. I've got a +2. Come on, religion.
Woo!
No, not really, man.
The name
Hey, you.
does
yeah.
not ring a bell at all.
Um,
Then the name doesn't.
Even to someone like Cass, who is intensely adept and knowledgeful of many different gods, deities, fiends, and all things in between. This name is not even something that sits on your tongue as I feel like I should know this. You have never, ever.
So
heard
this is
name.
not a god?
No,
It's
not a.
not.
No.
No, this is just something you are not aware of.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's fine. The question I asked is the naming convention. Where does it line up? Does the name sound more angelic? Does it sound more fiendish?
Fiendish.
Actually,
Where does the name seem to be coming from?
somewhere in between.
Somewhere between a god and a fiend.
I get what you
Something
get. I get what
neutral.
you're getting at now. Yeah, no, the name is some hybrid of the two in some way.
So it's it's half angelic, for example, and half
Yes, essentially, yeah.
demon.
Yeah.
or
Devil.
devil. Yeah. Fallen angels normally tend to go to the devil side.
Yeah.
She's the one that offered to bring me back and blessed me with the sword and the armor to help deal with people that disrupt balance. And
Okay.
What?
When you say to
Oh, I got
people,
Scott when I came back.
what did you say, Rose? Sorry, I didn't hear you properly.
no, it was right. Matt was talking. No, I just wanted sorry, Joseph, but you say that you're helping her. You did say her, right?
Yes, her.
Okay. What does she look like?
She looks like a person, but with you kind of just seen for a moment, actually, like she's got like black skin and yellow eyes. Looks like us almost, except those things. Wings.
Does she have horns
Not that I
or a halo?
neither that I saw, but she has wings that are two different types. One of a dirty white feather and another of like a bat wing.
Okay.
You
And
want to-
what kind of people has she set you after so far?
Not many yet. I've not had to kill anyone yet, but people that have been messing with people like her and things and trying to summon and bring things forward.
I'm going to ask. Yeah, go on, Evan. You asked a difficult question.
I don't know if it's the question you're going to ask. So she's helping you keep the balance, stop anyone from bringing
Things that will
Ought
ruin the
not to
world,
be here.
essentially, yeah.
So stopping anything that is summoned, stopping anything summoned.
Pretty much. I've not had to draw this blade yet, but I've been able to disrupt the same things through other means.
So your idea, you're meant to keep things back. She isn't sending you after.
To stop any one side winning.
No one or the other. You just maintain the balance.
That's
Okay?
pretty much how it was explained, yeah.
She's not sending you after mages, is she?
I've looked into a couple before, but not exclusively, no. Some are just normal people that don't know what they're doing, messing with things that they don't know what they are, and that's the problem. Some people just don't know.
How are you dealing with them?
If I can, I've been stealing their source of whatever it is they're trying to do, whether it's tomes. I've been granted sometimes the ability to siphon the core of someone's ability to weave magics to prevent them doing it. It's better than killing them, but I know I will have to one day, and I kind of half looks at the sword and goes to say something and then doesn't say anything.
It's alright, you can tell us.
We
We are very understanding.
The sword's an artifact of a paladin from centuries ago. There's a detriment with it, and it's the reason why I really don't like the idea of using it, unless I really have to.
What is its name?
That I'm gonna have to quickly grab.
Come up with one?
It has got a name.
Of course, it's an artifact. It should have a name.
Sword of the Judge.
Not
Sword
Sword
of the
of
Judge.
Forgetfulness.
Yeah. And you can actually see the pommel of this weapon, which sits about the top of his head, you can see this blade goes down to the back of his knees. Like, it's massive.
Okay, and what is the detriment when you use it? What happens?
If the
It's going to.
if the blade's
it's
drawn,
going-
it cannot be resheathed until it has claimed the life of someone.
Oh.
So it is only used for the extreme circumstances when someone is beyond saving. Hence why it's called Sword of the Judge. The paladin that wielded it before had a vow of pacifism and only ever used it less than 10 times, it was told.
What was this paladin's name? Do you know?
I don't.
It does feel a bit Judge Dredd, like, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know the name of him. I was just told this when Cyrelia gave it to me as a warning to only use it when it's critically needed, or life and death. This is why I have. It's why I have these as well. And gestures to the hand axe and the hand crossbow.
Normal, I presume.
Yeah.
And the armor?
It grants me protection from the elements as well as combat in general. Simple, it's mobile, quiet.
Can I just ask a quick question, if it's okay? When you made your pact with this entity to raise you, you know, well, to take you from beyond the veil and bring you back, was there an actual contract involved?
The contract was in me binding with the weapon and armour. It's integrated into them.
So it's not anywhere on your skin? Because
no,
it'd be surprising how often that happens.
Not that I've seen. When I had to study the sword to be able to learn to summon it and move it and stuff as I can if I need.
So you can...
If someone knocked it away or took it away from me, I could teleport it to me and things.
Okay. And do you mind if
Essentially,
I ask
out of character, he's packed the blade.
He's packed to the blade. No, whoa, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's talking about the summoning and desummoning of his packed blade.
No, I know he's packed to the blade, but at the end of the day, he's also got... I thought he was packed to the chain, sorry. I do apologise.
No, that's fine. I'm just telling you out of character, because I'm pretty sure
no,
you guys
no.
would
I was getting Hexblade very strongly from this guy, I'm not going to lie, but I don't think that's his paint. Okay, what other abilities are you able to do from your newfound power?
Protect myself from attacks with summoning armor. I can teleport distances, shoot things out of my hands. A number of different things. I've learnt a lot of it through a creature that is my companion, that was given as a means of communicating with her. And it's at this point, like a small little puff of flame, and not a dog, but a small imp-like creature is kind of just stood at the side of him on the floor.
Quickly, does Cerulean have any other names? Joseph.
None that she's ever said to me. I've
Like,
spent my time getting my head around the situation as a whole and things that I'm having to look into, because I've never had to deal with it before.
No, I understand that. No. I mean, what are you? Early 20s?
Looks
like,
about
this
that.
must be a lot for someone so young.
I'm
barely a bit old.
24.
I technically look like younger. Okay. Why?
Your patron aware of a group in this area that is working to go beyond the limits posed by the gods' magic to mortals.
I haven't spoke with her for a couple of weeks directly. I've not long come back from the continent to the north. I was taken up there by her and had to make my own way back.
Oh, where?
Look up the main map. I'm pretty sure it's Zatsuki, which is the main central continent. Let me.
Yeah, asking specifically, where on that continent did he go?
He does not know.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have a clue, because
What kind of temperature was it then?
fucking hot.
Okay, so it's on the south side, so it's either going to be that kind of bottom realm, which would be, you know, Montessor around to where
The
the
volcano is.
volcano. Was it jungle-like, desert?
There was, like, yeah, a lot of trees and stuff, like a jungle almost.
Wait.
I was looking into, like, these snake people.
Hey, you want tea?
A what?
One thing.
A what?
No,
No, that's Michael making the you want tea joke.
Oh.
Michael and Rose are like, you want tea? I like you want tea, they're cool. I like want tea.
Okay, I turn to the imp fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a name I can address you as?
Just kind of cocks its head. And Josie goes, it doesn't speak out loud. And he points to his head through here.
Does he have a name I can address him as?
Xerxes.
Xerxes.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Xerxes.
There you go.
Have you been made aware of a group that's trying to break the boundaries conflicted on mortals and the use of magic?
Just kind of, you see the head tilt again slightly, and then just gives like a small nod.
I mean, it's more than that. They are trying to gain power.
Just what I
Like,
Just kind
sorry,
of,
Evan.
because it's kind of like stood up on its two back legs. It's only about 2 foot tall, and its left arm's currently like holding the shin guard on the splint armor, and it's holding itself up on his leg, and he kind of like nodding along as you're saying this.
Do you have any information regarding them that either two of you could possibly be looking into that you could possibly share with us?
Shakes its head.
No information whatsoever, even vague rumours or source of where they might be located or working from.
Scratches its chin with its right hand, and then you see it disappear in a small puff of flame and appear on your left shoulder and just do you react?
No.
It kind of just jumps like half onto your head and like slams both its front hands, and it's tiny. It doesn't hurt her at all. It's just kind of annoying, if anything. Ruffles your hair up a fucking ton. And Cass and people watching, you watch as the eyes just glow with a faint red hue, as in your mind you hear a voice. The people that we've been looking into are a group of people looking to entrap and possibly kill the second coming of Mystra.
Whoa.
It's in my
Repeat that,
head.
please, Danny.
I'm about to say first and oh,
And then
Right, so
he kind
is
of
he
released.
insinuating that the magic people are trying to capture and trap the second coming of Mistra?
Yes.
yep.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah,
No,
I
no, no.
blatantly when I
To
when I
release
get
the
that,
choke on the weave, they believe to kill the source is the answer.
they'll kill the weave first.
Joseph does not yet know of this. I have only found out a short time ago.
Oh,
And he will puff back to where he was beforehand, and you feel this intense. He doesn't burn you at all, but it feels like it should. This intense heat as the flame, and it just pops back next to him. Again, it's completely mute. Think, you know, Nibbler from Futurama. That type of temperament where that's how he's acting physically. Doesn't speak, but then has that like real deep voice. But he only spoke to you in your mind. Only you know this.
oh, that's great. If I'd have watched the show to catch the reference, I'd have understood.
There are plenty of that now.
You need to start watching more TV shows, Michael. I've got a list for you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, future armor and stuff like that. Nah.
Missing out.
But either
No,
way,
Futurama's
I've seen a few episodes and it's boring as.
Oh, yes.
but it's more for reference because obviously it is semi. Like the more I think about it, it's like actually it probably makes more sense. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to know the reference anyway. But either way, so that's kind of you get told this. Obviously, you were made aware that Joseph does not yet know about this yet.
That's disappointing news. Would you, if either of you do hear any information about this or your patron,
Yeah.
don't know if that's the what you think. If you find any information about that, would you be willing to try and pass that along to us if we may be?
I can send messages, but not far.
Can you?
I can only send them
Okay.
like a couple buildings over.
I to direct my attention to Xerxes, can you?
He kind of does the OK symbol with his hand.
Okay. If you find anything important, would you be willing to... Well, do you need something... Do I need something that you would be able to focus on to help you get to me to pass that along? Or can you...
Shakes his head.
You'd be able to find me if needs be?
Nods.
Well, if you're both willing to pass any information you've got, it would be useful.
I mean, I can, but as far as I'm aware, I've got nothing to do for the next few days. That's why I'm home. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the money I make indirectly through doing all this, I give to them.
Very admirable.
Very noble.
Admirable.
Well, it's what I did anyway. It's just I can give more now because this pays much better than being a fucking guard.
You only had to die for it.
It's impressive that we die for the people we love.
She's done a lot, and she doesn't have enough money normally to hire farmhands for the fields, and it takes the onus off them.
Mm-hmm. You were able to do that, and then it's around. If you've got
I
some...
believe. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
Nope,
Evan.
no, it's you.
I was just going to say that we're going to be in town for the next few days anyway. I assume with, some of us have some individual tasks that we need completing.
Boom.
Staying at the pub if you want to chat at all, Joseph.
Yeah.
I get it's a lot.
Thank you
Or
for
if you
not
need-
being weird about it. When I saw you and gestures to Persephone, I expected the worst. Because
We understand.
That's right. not going to, well, not going to lie to you. We found out about, and I gestured towards Xerxes
Hmm.
first, and found out you were alive. We were assuming the worst.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good to see that we're not entirely certain what it is. It seems a bit more on the level than we first expected.
He's fucking useful, I'll tell you that. Things he's taught me is... I never would have dreamt I'd been able to do half the things.
We need some training for the few days while we're here. I can try and help you, even if it's not that, but get some use with weapons of its type.
Yeah, I haven't used it at all, and like I said, I haven't had a chance to train with a weapon of that size, so I was a little concerned. But if you,
I kind of just shrug a little bit, and the glaive out on one side and the maul on the other.
Yeah, you're used to having unwieldy and large weaponry. Okay, Rose. Yeah, I mean, I'd happily do so. The guards anyway ever taught one-handed and smaller weapons like this.
You can get some training in, and I'd like to hear more information about what you've been tasked to do.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a bit of a concern, and may explain a little bit as to why, when you can tell most of us aren't native to Briar, so it was
Well,
unusual.
You hardly dress like someone from around here.
No. But we are not used to the distaste of magic around here.
Yeah.
So if you've got if you help, you may be able to help me and us understand that a bit more.
I'll do what I can. I don't know much. It's just things parents and grandparents told me.
That's nothing. Most people just tend to tell us because they're evil.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you at some point, yeah. And you can visibly see, like, throughout this entire conversation, while he's been fairly talkative, he's still visibly awkward with the whole premise of having to explain and deal with this. Which, you know, having to explain to someone why you died and then undied, especially from someone who's never dealt with this shit before, or at least until very recently, you can sympathise a little bit.
Don't worry, we'll try and help you get some understanding of this.
Yeah, is there anything else? I never expected going out for a bloody late night drink. I've been doing all this.
Several weeks ago we were here, woke up one morning, had a drink, and we were charged for trying to kill the Lord, so...
Wait, that was you guys?
Accused. It wasn't us.
No, but I was on duty that night when there was a breakout. That was you guys?
That was us getting broken out, yes.
Huh.
We were able to catch the actual bandits who'd done it. They were trying to blackmail us into helping them attack a guard transport caravan. The one that we helped join you with, actually.
Oh, I was lucky, I guess. Fuck. Small world, huh? Huh.
Yep.
And you just kind of see that, like, I'll be fucking damned.
Yeah, that pub is interesting for starting people's journeys.
It's a fucking curse, if you tell me.
Nah, you just have to make it into your own gift.
Yeah.
Still in need of a drink, or you heading back home, or do we need to carry on standing?
I think I need to sleep.
You sleep, and if we meet tomorrow at some point for practice training with the blade, if you need it.
Yeah, definitely. And you watch as the brooch / like clasp that carries the half cloak, he pushes and twists it, and you see the cloak flare up and wrap around him, and everything's back as disguised as Traveller's Co's with a heavy Traveller's cloak.
Part of your powers or part of the gift?
The armor. The armor has the ability to hide itself. It stands out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, trying to explain to someone how you make the metal red, I don't even know, so I'm not going to try and explain it. It's easier.
In the meantime, I turn to Boomer. I hope you're making notes.
Ooh. There you go.
No,
don't think
he was kind of slack-jawed, and then you just kind of, as you speak to him, he shakes his head like, boom.
I know your mind's exploded, but take note.
There we go. I'm taking notes of the death-defying, going back to life.
And as
Bringing back things to life.
I don't mean the being wrecked alive. I meant the armor that can do disguising shit and stuff like that.
yeah,
No, I'm taking notes of something else though.
And
Yeah.
but
Sorry, every time anyone says "bring me back to life," like all I hear is "wake me up inside" in my head. It's getting really confusing.
but no,
I'll say a goofy thing in it now.
but as he's leaving, like he'll, because obviously you spoke to him a bit more about like the weaponry and stuff. I know at some point I'll be free of this weapon and stuff, so at least while I've got it, it might. Okay, it might be worth to get used to it while I have it. I know I'm also part of my duties to find a true wielder for it. I'm only holding on to it for now, and he says that like kind of as he walks level with you and past you, and carries on, leaving the graveyard, leaving the rest of you, and heads vaguely in the direction of where he lives.
He says that, and then kind of as he walks away, and he's like once he's out of the way and everything, I just kind of just say in Elvish, "Better not be me."
I hear that.
Oh, that's
You hear that, Deer hears that. The only one that doesn't is Boomer.
Yeah, oh no, I don't say it like to hide it.
Oh
I
yeah,
just say it like
because it's the first language that you
Under
know.
your breath, it's
Yeah.
language.
I'd say the same thing. Yeah, I would have said the exact same thing when you would have caught me like when he first gave me the vision. Well, not the vision, or spoke to me in the head and what
You would have
the
responded
plan
in
was.
Elven.
I would have only whispered under my breath, but it would have been Elven for oh crap,
Yeah.
because it would have just been like, oh,
Silamon.
I have no idea. But yeah,
Yeah.
essentially, it would have been just a few Elven like things, like just.
Yeah.
It's almost like a like a curse / promise of just like that wilder better not be me for that weapon.
Surely it would have just been ooh la la.
Oh, sacre bleu.
Oh,
That's in my language then. I wouldn't mind. As well, so you understand it.
The sword's bigger than you.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
that's
for
right.
Evan, not me.
Oh.
I've seen that video before.
The weapon that if I draw it, someone dies.
No, I was told the words were draws blood, wasn't it?
No.
Oh wait,
Takes a
when's it?
life.
Oh, a life, right? Okay.
Essentially, out of character, once that blade has been taken out of its scabbard, unless someone dies, it cannot be put back. And it has to be killed by the blade. If someone dies in the vicinity of it, it doesn't count.
Well,
It literally has to be, the killing blow has to be dealt with that blade, or it can't go
Ah,
back.
right. I can see the difficulty in it.
Which is the reason why he hasn't even taken it out of its scabbard yet,
Yeah.
because it is life or death, last ditch.
I don't care if it's a bloody +5 Holy Avenger with blah 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 extra. No chance.
Bit awkward in a multi-person combat.
So,
But just for
do we
the
need to kill a
but just for
person
the
with
sake
it?
of, I'll quickly explain how the visuals of the blade, because the scabbard, it's not like a full sheath that like hides everything on the blade, and he would have shown you, at least turned around to let you quickly see. The blade it's an executioner's greatsword, so the blade is thick and blunt with no point. It's like a large square weapon with celestial inscription down the fuller that Cass and I know Cass can. I think Evan, can you speak Celestial? Can't you?
I will have to check. I don't.
But either way, I know Cass can at the very least. And the script says, "I raise this blade so that a poor sinner may have eternal life." Made of a shining steel with a golden guard and pommel that's made out of the shapings of a weeping angel that arms out wide. That's the blade, what it looks like at least. So yeah, the inscription says, I raise this blade so that a poor sinner may have eternal life. In Celestial.
Yeah.
Where was that bit?
That's down the fuller of the blade, so the slight indent.
So we
in
have
the
to take the
centre-
blade out just for us to read that.
No.
It's not covered. This.
It's not a
that
full
is covered.
scabbard like that. Basically, the whole
Oh,
of the
okay.
blade is there's a bit at the very bottom that holds the end of the blade, and then a clasp around the top. The actual blade itself's exposed.
Just like the idea of, here, have a look. Oh shit, I've drawn it now. Now
Yeah,
I've got
no,
to
the problem is a full scabbard like that with a blade of that length, his arms are not long enough to pull it out. A proper two-handed scabbard's required, which is half exposed, so as he pulls it up slightly and then uses the shoulder
Slides.
for leverage,
Yeah.
it kind of flips around.
Ah, I see.
So when he showed you the blade in its holding, you can see the blade in its full glory.
Oh. That's a side shot.
Was?
There we go. Couldn't find it then. No, I just have common and elvish essentially.
Yeah, but Cass would have been able to speak, and she could have been like, "You do realise what that sword said, right?"
No, I didn't learn like you did.
Oh.
Is Rose back?
What
No,
has
never
come back
mind.
in?
But yeah,
Not yet.
so you guys are stood in a drizzly graveyard.
Sorry, I was listening.
Oh,
Yeah. No, we're heading back towards the inn after that. But like I say, I would have just
did you
walked
did you
off.
hear the description of the blade, Rose?
Yeah, let me just double check if I've got Celestial. I've got Common, Elvish, Giant, Halfling, Abyssal, Sylvan, and Primordial. I don't have Celestial.
Oh, my bad. Well, it would have just said celestial text. You wouldn't have known
Not
what it
yet.
said.
Just all those other languages.
To be fair, it's safe to assume most likely that you have a language, but no, like so you would have seen celestial text down the fuller of the weapon, but unknown what it says. But out of character, you now know what it says anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So, shall we carry on in our things? I don't think this will only.
No, we head back to the tavern.
Oh, didn't someone want to jump off a building round here?
It's pissing down with rain. Do you
I
want
can
to
do
do
that in the morning, yeah.
Okay.
Ah, so he's staying his hands. Good boy.
Staying his paws. Staying his paws.
See,
Yeah, Danny, come on, get right.
Okay,
Pause.
he's staying his
Oh,
toe
God,
beans.
listen to that.
He's toe beans, okay? He's goddamn toe beans.
Don't say Toby. That's adorable.
He has toe beans
Beans.
on his toes. So,
you've all been a kick.
you head back to the inn. Your table you were originally sat at has since been filled, and you end up finding space at another table that's in a different location. The tavern is fairly busy. Yeah?
If you need a location, How do we eat at the tavern? Do we have to go somewhere else?
Not catering in the tavern.
Oh,
Jesus, man.
Liam, you know
yeah,
that inspiration I gave you earlier?
yeah.
I'm about to take it away if you carry on.
Oh.
But no.
Okay, so
But yeah, you end up sat at another table.
there was one thing that we've missed during our discussions. Boomer,
Boo!
you find out.
I got given a book.
A book?
Yeah.
May I have a little look? A bit of a look?
Yeah, I'll pass the book to Cass.
Yeah, the book essentially is a book for children that are learning the bare bone basics of alchemy.
Oh.
It is designed as entry level, and it holds recipes for some basic things like soap and chalk, amongst other things. I think, Adam, you did list it in the thing, did you not?
Yeah, list the basic ones.
You
in
did.
Discord.
Okay, so the ingredients that this book holds is ingredients for, well, not ingredients, recipes for antitoxins, candles, chalk, glue, ink, oil, paint, sealing wax, and soap.
Glue?
Glue.
Glue.
Glue from it.
Not sovereign
Yeah.
glue, just glue.
Yeah, but glue's pretty rare.
Tells you how to make it.
And what do you have to do with this book?
I need to make something good to impress the man.
Could you
God,
make a
think
nice column?
I'll make-
Oh,
Actually, no, I
God.
don't want a nice column. No. No, I need to find your ice column, not make one. We don't have a ice column. You already got one somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they make one, you've got to find that specific one.
Yeah.
You have to book nice columns now, anyway, haven't you, dear?
What, sorry, heading to you?
You've got a book on ice columns. I gifted
Yeah.
you with a book.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a Charles pop-up book about the story about the lovely ice columns.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all got kids'
Yeah,
books now.
I mean, that story was an
Okay.
that story was an absolute barnstormer, though. It spoke of this one ice golem that
Yep.
really wanted ice cream.
Yeah.
The problem was when he got the ice cream, it melted.
Oh.
Aw.
You
But-
couldn't point inside him.
But he got so upset, the town got together and bought him a new set of ice cream.
Oh.
And that
Fake
melted him.
news. You will attack town.
Oh dear. Right,
Yes.
so I believe the next actions is to support Boomer in making this.
Just out of character, he was told to mix his own abilities with the stuff in the book. Impress them. That was what he was told. Do something unique that makes him worthy of their time.
Like making a bomb.
Oh, God.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Yes.
nothing says
Yes.
nothing says please love me like here's a bomb.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a surefire way to get arrested. just saying that.
Congratulations, you're now part of the school. If we still had one.
No. Congratulations, you're in the school. Take these bracelets and go with those burly men.
Sounds like my kind of school.
God's sake.
Lord.
Stop now, Danny. Just stop.
Yeah, I'm not saying another word.
Yeah, because this is just game.
Boomer, do you know of any magical items that can be made that are like alchemy? As in, are there any low-level, like potions you can make using this knowledge? knowledge?
Not yet, no.
I mean, you've been able to craft, bags of holding and cloaks of protection and stuff like that. Are you sure there's nothing off the top of your head that you could potentially craft that is in the way of alchemy?
No, but I would like to make something like that though.
He wants to make something that goes boom.
Fire breathing bag of holding.
Fire breathing.
Yeah, capture a dragon, a fire dragon, shove him in a bag of holding, and let him loose every time he wants to say, "Here, look at this."
Yeah, no. I don't think that's entirely possible.
Instead of a jack in the box, it's a drag in a bag.
Dragging a bag.
Yeah, drag in a bag, like you just open the satchel and just like out pops this little dragon head.
No, I was
Oh.
thinking.
I think
More
more Apollo
along the line-
Grady time though.
Oh, fuck off. For fuck's sake. Shut up, Liam.
I'm sorry, we couldn't resist that one.
No, you could.
Anyway,
You have to. Yeah. So, Boomer, you have to craft something that is a mixture of what they've given to you and your own ability,
I know.
which is not a bomb. So,
No, I know.
It might be.
do you have any
I think that
idea,
could work. I mean,
boys?
Boom goes boom.
booming or booming.
Boomer, no Boomer.
Ooh, just thought of one actually. Just
What do you
well.
think?
Well, my initial idea was making a candle like a little fire display, but I don't think that would go down well.
No, fireworks are brilliant.
As long as you don't point them at certain places. Yeah. So boom doesn't happen. Boom. Yeah.
No,
it's good.
you-
Bang.
that's what fireworks are used for, right? I mean, we did
Yeah.
try to. Were you with us at that time? I think that actually might have been Theon. We tried to make fireworks. It didn't go down too well. I mean, if you could make along that does combine both alchemy, because it, using natural things with your own ability.
Yes, I could try and make a candle with a small fireworks display, which is not harmful.
Would it happen to be a Roman candle?
Where's Rome?
Do you get? Oh, nobody got that joke. Okay, never mind. Scratch that.
I like
a Roman
it.
candle is a type of firework.
No, no.
Yeah, no.
What's Rome?
The joke.
It's a guy. You've heard of Roman, right? It's a gentleman. He created fireworks back in
Wait, Roman Reigns?
where I used to live. Canon now. Sorry, you did allow us to make our own country.
Yeah. I did.
Would you know perhaps with the ingredients to make that particular firework?
Will it be
Um,
pretty?
It depends. Danny, do I know anything about firework making?
Roll a history check.
Oh, shall make it out. Oh.
We shall see. Ooh.
I think I might know something about fireworks.
In one of your
Oh, no.
many topics of study, you do remember a young halfling fellow from one of the halfling communities had started tinkering with it as use for celebration in different harvest festivals and different celebrations in general. Because it was something so unique, it did garner your interest a little bit, and you did summon him to the capital once to essentially explain how it's done. And you've never made any, but you heard the recalling of it when it was recorded for then elves in the capital to recreate similar things for use in your own celebrations for the gods and things like this.
Ooh.
You could recall the recipe, but it by no means would be perfect. It may be a little off.
But then hopefully with Boomer's own natural
Can
skill.
hone it in. You can put him in the ballpark. He can fine tune it.
Yay!
So yeah, I will open up
Can go boom.
The Idiot's Guide to Humaning, and I will rip out a couple of pages and I will start scrolling down what I remember. So technically, I'm going to give him like a
Okay.
this is how you make cookies recipe without all the information, so he can do what he wants with it.
I'll get you the detailed recipe thing, like in the book that we're using, Adam. a recipe
Yeah.
for fireworks made up, but essentially, yeah, you have the recipe for fireworks. It's fairly complex in comparison to the recipes you've been given, but it's nothing you feel like you can't do.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I will make a note that I've got to make that and send you.
Fellow named Roman created these candles. This is what you make them. I assume that some form of like magnesium is in. I think it's is it magnesium?
I believe so. Yeah.
The sulfur
Cause-
as well.
It's
what
it's
the
black.
witches of the
it's
But yeah,
essentially
gunpowder
gunpowder, magnesium, a colouring powder of some description for magnesium, and then a housing and fuse for it to actually shoot off.
Well, this is what my plan is. Is like I'm gonna try and incorporate into the wax itself, but very minor amounts of it. So as it goes down, it lets off like a little display.
Oh, so more like the fountain fireworks.
Yeah, but there's like a small scale one, but it continues until the candles burnt out.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean. I don't know what the name of the candle's called.
Roman candle.
Oh, is it actually?
I don't know.
The volcano, isn't it?
The actual wax is as the wax melts, it becomes a liquid which will extinguish any fuse unless the fuse is above it. So if you're trying to create something where there is crackles and sparks and stuff like that, it doesn't work very well with wax. Wax is a liquid, will extinguish. Unless you want to do a perfume candle, and that's a very different story.
Well, make them smell nice.
Why don't you? That's a great idea. You could make a candle where a toxin's released, but that is along the kind of lines as a boom. So
And a poison. Mm.
So
Or you could do
he's
like
making
flashbang.
scented death candles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Scented death candles. Wow.
I didn't expect this type of sort of candles from yourself, but
What are the candles? Yankee candles. So we're making Yankee
Yeah.
candles that kill people. Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god, guys.
Well,
not me.
I wasn't saying that we should make it. I was just saying that we could potentially make it.
Oh,
There
no.
is a difference.
It's entirely in the realm of possibility, and that's what's
Yeah.
amazingly funny about it.
You could do like.
Still gone.
Done to death.
What if you were to create something that would go boom like a bomb and
Oh.
such like that? But instead of it doing that, it's a flash of light so that it blinds individuals in that area. For like if we were ever going into a location, we could roll that in, pop it, and then all of a sudden all our enemies are blinded.
Ooh, I like that. I wonder if
It's
the
not
man
a
will like that.
bomb, it's a give us an advantage bomb. Evan, you're being really quiet, and I can tell that you're silently judging.
We're all judging you.
Yeah.
I never said I was a hero. I'm just saying it is in the realm of scientific possibility.
Possibilities.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not something that you probably should do. I'm just saying you could. I think the fireworks is a much sweeter idea. Dip your toe into.
Yeah, I prefer the candles personally. I think there's maybe even a knockout candle, so you can.
Oh, like something that has maybe a sleep potion
Yeah.
inside it.
That way, we could instead of having to fight our way into a place, drop some of these smoke grenades in or whatever, and just knock everyone out. For us to then get in there, subdue them without causing any harm to anyone.
But the only problem with that is that we would first have to place it in the location if it is an actual. Light it, let it to reduce its, spread its toxin about.
I didn't say it'd be easy. I just thought it's a good idea.
I do like the idea.
Maybe not a poison.
No.
But I have heard of some very. Natural studies have always happened. Is Evan here?
Yeah, sorry.
He's contemplating things.
Yeah, we're talking about death candles, Michael.
Yeah.
I tried to reduce it to a knockout, but I think they want the death.
No,
We've got other items like ink, oil, even paint.
Ooh.
could you make an invisible ink?
Ooh. Ooh. No, I like
Ooh,
the
lemon
idea.
juice.
I think that's something that will also benefit.
I was going to say,
in
the,
like a-
the ingredients, the things that he can make in the book he's been given are all mundane in nature. But obviously, given his artificer background, I'm sure there's probably other things he can augment them with and
Yeah.
use them as accompanying tools alongside.
Mm.
Also, if you could like do invisible ink, that maybe was to appear under certain conditions. I mean, it would be probably quite profitable. I know quite a few people, you know, not just criminals and the like of that, but even, you know, military, so they could send messages without it being discovered unless somebody knew, like maybe or something that's instilled into it. I know there's a magical way, but this country isn't too kind to magic. So, it was in an item, might be worth some money for.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. Invisible ink.
So far we have invisible ink, death candles, and flashbacks.
And fireworks, and fireworks.
Fireworks.
Highlights. Yeah, well, it's concentrating on the interesting ones.
You know you know something, Alec, I'm so glad I gave you a blank slate of just impress me, because some of the things you guys are potentially coming up with are going to be quite interesting.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just for this test, but I think for future episodes in general.
It doesn't have to mean that just because you're an artificer, you make a big gun. It can be interesting, you know.
Yeah,
Stuff that...
little
yeah.
little gadgets and stuff. Hell yeah! And like I said, mixed with this full-on alchemy recipe list, it just makes it even better.
I do have one thing. You can make potions. Is this what you're going to get to? The ability to make
Eventually.
potions?
Potions and all sorts. Yeah, there's 3 main paths that in this alchemy book that he's looking at, and he has to pick one of them. The 3 that are available is Tinkerter, which is more obscure potions and different augmentative things. You've got Apothecary, which is all about healing, restorative powers, and the Alkahest, which is the destructive and explosive. Have a guess at which one he wants.
I was going to request, if you are going to be able to make potions, if maybe make a potion that allows the consumer to see in the dark. That would be extremely beneficial.
I think that'd probably come under the Tinkerter pathway, honestly.
Oh.
Because the thing is, each one has its own unique list of items that you can make, and they're all tailored to a style.
That's it, because most of the party, except for one of us, aren't able to see in the dark.
Can see in the
No.
dark. So.
Yeah, you can see in the dark. Dear Greytail, can you see in the dark?
I don't think I can, no.
Yes, you actually have dark
You
vision.
actually can.
Oh. I can see in the dark, yes.
I can't believe he doesn't even know that his
You're
own
a
character.
fucking cat. You should be able
And
to
he can't be closing his eyes when he goes in the dark.
A cat, like the
Oh,
beast
did you
cat,
just call Matt a
can't
cat?
see in the dark.
Not in
But,
character.
Ah.
but Evan,
Mm.
myself, and yourself, Beamer, we cannot see in the dark.
No, we can't.
Oh,
That's
no.
a really good point. Are you able to make goggles when you get a chance that could allow us to see in the dark? Or at least one set.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I take it they're uncommon and under.
Yeah, it's uncommon, I
Okay.
believe, goggles at night.
They are
Or
attunement,
whatever
though, I
it's
believe, though, aren't they?
Sorry, are they
I
a
think-
tube?
I believe they are.
I don't know, Danny. You've probably got the DMG closer to you than I have.
Do you know what the name of the item's called? And I'll have a look.
Goggles of night, I want to say.
Okay.
Michael might know better.
Give me a sec. I'll look it up then while you guys are continuing your in character.
Yeah.
Like,
second.
background time. I mean, what are you working on at the moment, Boomer?
Only that bag of holding at the minute.
You should be a few days into that, though. from
Oh no,
October.
they're not attunement. They're not.
I mean, if you could
Yeah.
start making those for us through, that would be ace.
Ooh.
Obviously, with flare-proof individual, I assume yours will have explosion marks on eventually.
Not by design, but by effects.
I mean, I
That's
think it
me.
would. I don't even think I can cast a spell that gives the individual, the ability like you guys have to be able to start. It is something that I miss. Evan, what do you think? Evan?
He's gone AFK again, hasn't he?
Right, there we
Oh.
are.
No.
What's
Michael just
Right.
keeps going.
Let's say,
Have you been listening? I've just said to Boomer to make us some night. The
Yeah.
goggles that.
yeah. No, those would be something that would be a good idea for the group. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go back to whatever you were doing.
Getting lost, to be honest.
You're lost. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I just phased out a little bit and just everybody started talking. They're like, oh, what?
Oh no.
I might be just
Discussing
a little
goggles.
tired.
Discussing goggles of the night. Possibly
Yeah.
Boomer making some after this that's coming up.
No, it's fine. I heard that bit and started looking in the book to find them, and then I kind of missed everything after I found them.
Yeah.
So
The
next thing is then, what are you going to create then, Boomer? What do you feel?
I'm torn between the candle firework or the invisible ink.
I think the candle firework will be more of an impressive show. It'll be like a more noticeable, but I don't know if that's what they're after.
This is it, isn't it?
Is invisible ink
We
a
are scholars.
I think the invisible ink should be a good thing for him to do to get himself into the group, into the area. But if we're making requests for items for us,
I think my sleep gas one would be better.
that's definitely a good idea as well. But I think
Yeah.
let's use that as an entryway for. Let's use the invisible ink as an
Invisible
entryway first, and then we'll work up to candles that knock people out. We can get them, we can get the enemy to light them, and then people can go in afterwards.
That's it. Well, I do agree with Great Eye. I do think fireworks are very, flashy. They are impressive. It's just we have to think as scholars, and for me personally, I know as a scholar, I would much more enjoy the invisible ink than a flashy firework. That lasts for a night, whereas this could last for a very. I mean, has anybody here heard of invisible ink previously or experienced? Are we going to trademark it? Boomer, you need to think of a name for this and trademark it instantly. What will it be called?
Is there much point to invisible ink though?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know I've seen it before.
If you can't read it, then there's no point. Is there?
Well, that's it. So you transport that mission. That say it is between two armies. So two sections of the same army. You've got two sets of troops that are going into individual areas, and one of them gets a note where it appears to be a blank sheet of paper. However, they know that when they do something to that paper, whether it's they put a certain substance on it or say a magic word or whatever it is, that will then reveal a message. Can you imagine the espionage possibility?
Oh yeah.
The main question is how you're doing it.
Wow.
I still think the fireworks would be better.
Let's have a look. So initially the ink needs water, fluid, pigments, staining.
Yeah.
So that's the basic recipe.
Unless you specifically want to get posh ink, posh water, for the sake of helping the DC. Water's piece to get a hold of. Pigments, once the town's open, I'd imagine shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
Do we need something from a? Do those funny spiders that we encountered at any time, did they go invisible? Because I seem to have some of their venom,
No. They were.
which I haven't told anybody about.
No, they weren't face spiders. They were just normal spiders. Yeah, unfortunate.
We need to hunt an invisible monster then. If we can
We could always ask Penelope.
If he's
Sorry?
invisible, he won't be able to see.
Penelope might have something that might assist.
That is a brilliant idea. Is Penelope in town?
He's always in town.
Yeah, probably. She's in every town, isn't she?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'll cast send. If she's not outside, I will cast sending to summon. She just saving.
Boomer, I believe you have something for that, don't you?
Yes, I have a piece of paper. If I write on it, she will reply to me.
Oh, that's very interesting. Right, what do I need to make something invisible? Like ink. Trademark
Yeah.
by Boo.
So I'll basically rip a base alt tear of one of the papers.
Yeah, because obviously she
I
did
know.
warn you to tear off any. Because once you write on the entirety of the piece, regardless of how much you use, is burned.
Yeah, so basically,
Wasted.
Tear
write
off
out the
just
note you-
enough, yeah.
So write the note out first, then tear it and let it go.
No, tear
So-
it before you write
No,
it.
tear it off.
Because once it's been
Oh.
written on, the entirety of whatever's been written on becomes mundane. So if you write a message that's only the size of a thumbtack on an entire sheet of this paper, the entire sheet of the paper goes mundane.
Sorry, I thought it was once you turn it off, that's when it became.
No. It's fine. I get the mistake, but no, that was not what I meant.
Yeah. So
That
I'll
was,
rip a
that's
quarter
probably
off,
my bad, but yeah. So you rip a tiny piece off, yeah?
and then I'll
And
write
you've
down.
been given like 20 pieces of this. You've got a lot.
Oh yeah.
Surname Boomer? Do you have a surname? What's your actual? Is Boomer your actual name?
Boom. Yes. I do have a surname.
Oh my.
Magog gave me that name as well.
No, Magog did not.
Magog did.
Possibly. I don't know.
And it's not your fault.
Oh my
I
God,
don't know, it's
I-
canon now.
All this madness is your fault, oh Grace, isn't it?
It's all Adam's fault.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Alright, come on, Matt. What are you sending?
We need you!
Okay, I'll move all right down. I need something to make ink visible.
Invisible, not
Then I-
visible.
Invisible, Penelope. Any ideas?
Okay. And like as you've tore this off, you writ on it. You watch the ink just stain into it. You see then the paper just disintegrate to ash in front of you, and then just gone. You just got like you got like a small plume of dust as it just kicks up, and that's it. There's no response. You don't hear anything in your head. You don't see like a new piece of paper land in front of you.
Ah. Nothing.
Yeah.
Give it time, give it time.
They will.
I think I might have thought of a name for your invisible ink.
Have you literally? About 5 minutes, about a couple minutes later, coming from upstairs of the tavern, in the trademark purple and silver dress with like the belt that like pulls it in, the tied back white hair and pale face, you see Penelope come from upstairs. And she comes,
Ooh.
What was she doing upstairs then?
and you see her just like pulling the hair back and just fixing herself up and stuff. And she kind of just gives a beaming smile to Boomer. She comes walking over and goes, "Ah, well, hello there, everyone. You said you needed my help, did you not?"
Hey. You've just got like a massive smirk on his face.
I believe,
He's in love.
I was just about to say that.
I believe you were looking for something to help with distortionary products, was you not?
Yeah, trying to make
And what she does is
invisible
she
ink.
doesn't sit down. She kind of stands, but leaning over the table. She's actually currently using Evan's right shoulder as a bit of a leaning post, so she's leaning over him, talking down to Boomer.
Ah. I need something to help me make invisible ink.
Invisible ink. Oh.
Mm.
Well, there's plenty of things that could help with that. Are you looking for something that can be turned invisible and that's it, done, gone forever? Or something a little different?
Something to write it down with, and then it can be seen at a later time using a special formula.
Ah, let's have a roll for Penelope as she rolls an Arcana.
Plus 15.
Yeah, it's literally pretty much the only thing she knows, and she's pretty old. Actually, I think I have just the thing. Have you ever, by any chance, Boomer, heard of a Displacer Beast?
Oh, there's a lot of things we can be dealing with that.
I think I have before.
No.
A lot of their ability comes from both the tails they have and the blood. I'm sure you could mix some Displacer Beast blood to make the ink a bit more harder to see. And with the right application, I'm sure the tail as well could be used as a means to reveal what you're hiding. Wouldn't be perfect, sure, but off the top of my head, it's about the first thing that I can think of that may work. At least for the way that you're wanting. There are plenty of other creatures that have the ability to do similar, but none that can really control it to a terrible degree, especially once they've died. Displacer beasts hold less control of it. The bodies, even after they've been killed, still show some signs of activity in that sense. It's intriguing.
If just to interrupt, the tail
Oh,
is about.
hello, Evan. Didn't see you there. Bear in mind, she's leaning on you.
Yeah, I know. Hi, just the dumb post here. If I recall correctly, Displacer beasts have their tails have some sort of
Toxin.
spines or something on them, correct?
Yeah, they do. They have 3 of them. That each of the tails usually shaped like a giant leaf. At the tip, they usually have about a dozen or so spikes on them each. So about 3 dozen in all.
Would possibly some sort of quill out of those spines possibly help with this as well?
Ooh.
Good night, Romeo. Take care, Mum.
Sometimes your mind is brilliant.
I mean, it certainly could help. Using that as well as the Displacer blood, it's certainly a good delivery method. Would make the ink pretty much disappear upon written, though, until you use means to reveal it again.
That's it. We can make essentially some kind of like out of the tail, almost like a square, and when you rub it on the.
That's exactly what I was thinking,
the
dear.
Rubber, essentially.
No. There's no need to laugh. That is exactly what I was thinking, because the flesh of the Displacer Beast, at least while the blood and the spines are in contact, remains visible and is more copious. So there must be something in the flesh that keeps the abilities in control. So at least coming into contact, even if it is more petrified and mummified flesh, so obviously it doesn't rot because that fucking stinks, let me tell you that, might work. I've never done it myself. I've never done it by myself, but that would be interesting. Huh.
Penelope, you wouldn't happen to know where any of these, Displacer beasts might be?
Okay, let's do another intelligence.
That's it. Any stories from any of the people that you provide? Oh, gee.
Yeah, she's all intelligence. That's literally her entire shtick. Actually, I believe I may. Be a bit of friendly competition, though, because I know then you would not be the only people going for it. But I do recall, at least down south, there was a group of people looking to hunt them for a contract they're working towards for a hunt.
Fast.
Huh?
How far south? Sorry.
Well, you'd have to go through both to the southern section and southern clan. I'm talking right at the bottom of the country, south. They're a bit weird, though, because Displaced Beasts normally live in warmer climates, but for some reason there's a pack of them that have lived down there for at least 30 years or so that I'm aware of.
Ooh, Arctic displaced.
Yep. Seems about
Yeah.
right.
Boomer, is there a time limit on when you're supposed to give them what you've made?
Not particularly at the minute, although this would be an entry level so for to get my alchemist.
Unless
Oh, you're
they're
going into alchemy, Boomer. Now that is really. I mean, I'd expect no less from you. You do seem a bit of a hands-on type.
Oh yeah. Make some more things go boom.
Tell you what.
This is not going to bode well.
I tell you what. Actually, how about this? Are you how tight of a deadline and how desperate are you for these beasts for the ink?
You could do it
Unless the-
shortly. Go on, Boomer. Sorry, yeah.
Let's say unless there's any alternatives.
But how much of a time crunch are you on? Do you need this today? Tomorrow?
Time
Not-
is important to us. At the end of the day, we do have a lot of stuff is going on in the world, as you know, and I think if we spend a month getting down there and a month getting back from the distance,
It's not time to
Perfect.
go. Well, how about a deal then? I'll get you down there, lickety split. You can go upstairs and we'll take you there right now. If you...
Here we are.
I'll take you all, don't
Sorry.
worry. Fuck's sake, Rose.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I wouldn't mind a few different bits and pieces from those beasts myself, so you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. I'll take you there, you
Boom.
get me the parts I need.
I mean, also, like, if Boomer's amenable to it, maybe we can work out some kind of distribution deal on the ink.
Let's see how we gets on with making it first. Might not fail, might fail. We'll see.
Oh no, I have every faith in Boomer. You do know he is brilliant.
Oh, I'm more than aware. He's very
Yeah,
brilliant
and
in a number of ways.
I'll just show obviously the bag of holding that I'm currently making
Well
to
done.
Penelope.
She'll like kind of glance it over and just go, you know, if you put your stitching 1 more inch closer together, it makes a tighter fit and makes the enchantment harder to break.
Ooh, thank you for the advice.
But I'd personally decorate the bag a little bit before it finishes myself, but other than that, perfect work.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Oh, I can see, and I can see the one on your back's got a similar nature to it, so I'm assuming it's not the first one you've made neither.
No,
Very well done.
thank you.
But displacer beasts are a prudent and painful endeavour to deal with, and some of their parts are very useful. I've got a couple of cloaks I could make out of their hides. If you can get me their hides and tails intact, I'm more than happy to take you down there.
So we splitting the tails.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You can take, I'll need 2 tails per. You can take one of the entire tails and as much blood as you need. Flesh as well if you really want. I need the skin.
Yeah.
I mean, anything else you can bring is a bonus, but the skin preferably. There's some real nifty defensive wear I can make out of those.
Was it? I think I've got some jars.
I can sort you with those if you need, darling. But last time I checked, let me pull you to the world map just so you can get a better bearing of this. So, it's down here in the very bottom right. There's a group down in Kulmar. I believe they set off about half a week ago, going southward, right to the very Arctic edge. They took quite a number of different consumables and things before I got cleared out.
Ooh.
Where did they set off from? Fully aware you can be in any town.
They were in Kulmar, and they've gone southward.
Right.
I've got a decent bearing of where they're going, because I kind of like to be a little nosy, and I have my favourites, so I don't mind sharing their secrets at least.
Ooh.
Certain people get special treatment. Boom is no exception.
Thank you.
But
Just out of character,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
presume that's the same the other group that nearly got assassinated.
No, that group
Oh.
you're on about is in Skogenheim.
So I think of the one then.
Yeah, no. This is just one of the clans that are underneath the control of the southern region.
Fair enough.
You have not been made aware. You've only been in the central and northern clan regions. You guys have not been that far south yet.
No.
And this is this, if you went, would take you to the very opposite corner of the country.
Where it's cold there.
Yep.
So we're going to need more clothes.
Well, I would certainly suggest it. Although, your fur might keep you a bit warmer than most, anyway. I would say the worry would lean on your friends here. Those without the such blessings. But I've currently got my sisters holding the different stalls, one of which is in Kulmar. That's how I know this. So I can take you there if you need.
Yeah.
Maybe in the morning?
Certainly.
Then it gives us enough time to buy furs and stuff like that to ensure.
Oh, don't get me wrong. My sisters told me in Kulmar it's much, much worse than up here.
Mm-hmm.
May as well be in the deserts, according to her, up here compared to down there. So yeah, I would wrap up pretty warm. Also, you're not planning on taking that ungodly-looking boat, are you? Because some of the water does occasionally freeze over a little bit.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to take us down there.
Oh no, I am, but I'm more than aware that that thing has autonomy, and I thought it would follow.
We'll get it to stay. As long as that's okay with everybody.
Thank God, it is hideous.
Boom.
Why am I a little bit worried about the magical creator that is in all sorts of different locations and the guy that likes things to go potentially ending up in a relationship? That scares the living shit out of me.
Put it like this.
Teleporting bombs.
But here's the thing, right? All that means is when he sets a nuke off in one town, she's going to make sure it goes off in all towns.
Yeah.
The ultimate power couple strikes again. Hell yes. Penelope and Boomer.
Just make wipe out the whole continent.
I think we need to go and quickly go to if there's any open tailors and stuff like that and get some winter wear very, very quickly so it can be done overnight to do this tomorrow. Agreed, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Sounds like fun.
Well.
Do you need anything to prepare ourselves for the Space Elites as well?
Well, they're fast little shits. Make sure you've got your keen eyes on you, because they are a pain to spot, and even more so to shoot, depending on how you go about them. So, and also be careful, they rove in packs normally, so where there's one, there's probably half a dozen. Which, if anything, is going to prove better for us, because then we can have more of them. But just be aware. And like I said, there's a group of, I believe it's 3 of them, going southward to hunt them, so you'll also be keeping an eye out for them, because if they find out that you stole their bounty, they're not going to be too happy neither. But you didn't hear that from me.
Heard it from the invisible woman.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know who this invisible woman is, but she definitely didn't tell you that they bought a full accompaniment of arcane traps and snap traps and the such.
Ooh.
And definitely
Could be that.
they definitely didn't buy a crate of healing potions neither. So it's weird how that woman tells you everything.
Mm.
If I was to get 100 gold pieces worth, if you've got this on hand of holy water and powdered silver and iron, potentially create a circle in the centre. Oh, it takes an hour. How long does it take?
Holy water, no. Silver and iron I can get you easily.
Which can stop Fae. So if we can draw them to us, I can pop up a magic circle that stops them for... it'll give them disadvantage on attack rolls against people within the cylinder. We can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. I don't know if that's something that you guys might be open to.
But if I remember right, isn't that cylinder fairly small? These creatures do like to attack from all openings. Just be careful.
It's a 10-foot radius, which means all of us could stand within it. As long as we are all in it and firing outwards, they would have, if they fail, they would essentially not be... It would make it much more difficult to hurt her. I'm just saying, because if needs be, I need to think about that spell. Evan, I'm looking at you. You're the one who knows tactical stuff.
Well, like I said, I can get you all the components about the first one, but can't you make the holy water yourself, if I remember right?
Yeah, but
not one to pry, but I am privy to people of your arcane disposition.
Oh, I'm not arcane. I'm divine.
It all comes from the same source.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even the wizards get their magic from fucking gods anyway, so does it matter too much? Honestly, it's all the same place to me. But that's...
No,
I gotta be careful where I say that around here, so don't worry about that.
But Evan,
Any of us around here?
tactical genius, would maybe a magical circle be beneficial?
Against what I'm
Bad.
trying to maintain against Faye, I believe that's got some effect, but
It will. It has the same effect. I didn't know. What I'm asking is, do you think that's a good idea? Because if needs be, I can prepare that. If not, I will go for it.
I don't think it'd be the best. I mean, it's what, a 10-foot area, so we're either trying to keep it out or trick it in.
No, 10-foot radius, and it's against us. If we were all standing inside it, they all have.
Can you not invert it?
Effectively, the following way: the creature can't normally enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or into a plane or to do so, it must first succeed on a charisma saving throw. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against the targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature. And when you cast this spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in the reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specified type from leaving the cylinder and outside it. The only thing is it takes a minute to cast. That's why I thought if we were inside it, it's better because I can cast it and then we can draw it to us, rather than the other way around.
Well, if we cast it and then draw it to us and then lead it into the circle and then it can't leave the circle.
I mean, potentially. I don't know if I could invert it though. It takes a minute to cast and then the duration is an hour. So I don't know if I have to choose at the point of creating it, whether it's going to be inverted or not.
Entirely true, but then again, are we even certain? I know they're part of the Feywild, but are they actually Fey?
I only know from our teachings of children about those.
like I say, I'm not entirely certain if I know they are connected to the Fae. I do not know if they are themselves. But it is the possibility that if you wanted to,
If not, there are better spells I could take. I was thinking
there are
of
probably
doing...
better spells you could take.
I don't know whether the similar spell to what I did in Mistra's, you know, the Temple to Mistra place, where I put that thing down and everyone got like top healer. I don't know if that might be more beneficial.
That would probably
Sorry?
probably be more beneficial, depending on how many of these creatures we fight.
And the biggest issue is I am unable to. Can I see invisible? No, I can't. I don't have that. Who? Do I? No, I don't.
I wouldn't worry about
I'd
seeing
say-
invisibility.
I'd say the creatures can't become invisible themselves. They become hard to spot, but
I tell
not
you
invisible.
one thing that might be a good idea, and your boomer friend here might help. Make some bottles of ink. Splash the fuckers. They can't make that shit hard to see. And track them with ink. I'm sure you.
We could make. Oh, you know, like I can't remember what the festival's name is. You know what? The one where it's like the powdered paint.
Well, I was also going to say
Little-
that book of yours, Boomer. You can make paint as well. So why don't you just make a few buckets of it and just chuck it up? It's a little.
You could make.
It's a little mundane, but hey, sometimes the mundane works. Don't knock it.
Boo, I just had an idea. Could you make maybe some like there's no such thing as plastic bags, but bear with me. Make something in case that literally our friend here, Greytail, could throw them at them, and then poof, and then there's like this explosion of colour over them.
It's like a balloon almost.
Yeah, like a water balloon,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
powder.
Can we not just open a bag of holding and it'll just spray out as I swing it around?
Or, you know, it's something I mean, it may not be a plastic bag, but a weakened water skin.
That'll do.
A bit of hide would work, yeah. Thin the skin down to paper thin levels. Delicate, but it would work.
There's probably some sausage casing. You know,
That'll probably work too.
no, that sounds disgusting, but it would burst on impact.
Well, I'm not going to judge what you do in the bedroom, but that sounds like a messy time.
Oh dear.
Penelope, your Danny is showing.
No, that was payback to fucking Rose, okay? That was payback.
Dear.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, Penelope, your Danny is showing.
She
I
deserved
meant
that.
like sausage. You know, like sausages. In those days, I would have said
Sausage
it's not
fries.
lamb. It's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's lamb intestine normally, yeah.
Labbing.
No, it's sheep intestine. The lamb skins is a completely different thing.
Yeah, these are babies.
No,
Really?
lamb skins are like. And never mind, I'm not getting into this topic on stream. I'll talk to you-
That'll be the post-session talks we do. Which is not
That's
streamed
fine.
yet.
Oh.
We don't have our own, like, talks show after the show. Not yet.
Do you know what I keep
That
saying?
talk,
to, like,
Muckerman.
every game I'm in,
Oh,
that
we don't-
there needs to be an after show because, like, me and Michael chat about D&D
Yeah.
all the time. Like, I do feel like we need to be able to talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, we
I don't
do. It's just we don't stream it. But either way, so carry on, sorry. Sausage casings.
Yeah, so they would explode. They would, you know, on impact, wouldn't? And
And
then
We're trying to. Okay, my main thing is why are we trying to get these to do that?
Wait, are you saying that you have another way?
No, I'm. Why are we trying to splash them with paint?
To make them easy to see so they nullify their advantage they have naturally. That's what they're discussing, at least.
I don't.
You make a great
so-
post, but not a good listener.
Well, as far as I understand, that's not quite how their ability works, isn't it? That it makes it appear like they're in multiple places at once, rather
Yes,
than.
but it makes their
than the-
bodies appear, not the things on them. You'll have a better time if you track the ink, paint, whatever you use, rather than the creature themselves. A little awkward, but it works.
Oh, so is it? Sorry, between the two of you, because I don't understand much about these creatures. I've not really encountered them before. As done. Is it a case that if we were to hit them, say if they're juddering in and out of position, we'd be able to see
Which
from where
one
the
it
paint,
is
where,
specifically.
which one's the actual creature?
No, because if you fight a Displacer Beast and you cut it, for a moment it stops it from being able to shift form. But when it starts shifting again, that cut is also visible on the other duplicates.
But that's because that's a part of their bodies and physiology. If you introduce something that's not attached to them or not natural to them, like paint, that doesn't track across the multiple forms they produce. So in theory, would work perfectly. You just track the paint rather than the wounds you inflict. That's the problem with you warriors, you're all so practical. Get a little creative once in a while.
This definitely does sound like the topic of conversation at the beginning of the stream of where we tried to break Dunny's game.
I'm fair. No. This is one of those things where it's like, I've got an idea and we're going with it, and fuck physics and the rules and magic. Cause...
Oh no, that's how I would rule it anyway. That's... Yeah. Because
no, it creates a magic illusion, so it would paste all of them, is the thing. Any change that happens to one would happen to all, is my understanding.
But if Danny as the DM has ruling over everything, what?
If Danny wants to make it like that way, I'm not going to complain, because it'll make it a lot easier to kill those things, but it makes it a lot easier.
The way I'm basing Displacer Beasts is it's their natural physiology is what becomes displaced and stuff.
Pretty sure magic and illusion would help, because it's essentially the blur spell.
Yeah.
If you're doing... Well, you're essentially, that wouldn't work, because the blur spell would be a reflection of you.
Yeah, but the spell, it's similar to the blur spell, but it's not the same as, that's the thing. But
No,
I'll talk to you after about it.
Yeah. I would have thought it'd be the same thing, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's similar but different. Or at least that's how my interpretation of it is, and the way I'm going to go with it.
So, that's a way to get around the Displacer cloaks as well.
In theory, yeah.
You just broke one magic item as well. Yay!
You're welcome.
So, are we doing this or what?
Well, I don't need much warning. I can be around whenever. I should be still outside right now, tending to the tent anyway, so it should be fine. Just go and speak to her when you need me, and I'll be there.
Yeah, we need to procure, obviously, Arctic clothing.
100%.
We'll see how long that takes.
And some jars.
I can give you plenty of jars, dear. Just let her know that I sent and said you
What,
can.
like jazz hands?
Jars.
I know, I'm intentionally mishearing.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Michael.
Huh?
So yeah. Go.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, I want to go buy clothes.
You should have a few moments still. It'll be the end of the day, and you probably won't get them till morning, but yeah, I should still be available. I'll be here. I'll keep the table warm.
Go instead to somewhere where we can purchase clothing.
Go out the building, turn left, go four right turnings down, and it'll be the first building on your right.
Are we doing the paint idea?
Get back, probably.
Do it during a long rest, can't you? How long does it take?
It takes about 4 hours to make.
Paint, yeah.
Which would probably... Now, if you were to do this and then long rest afterwards,
Mm.
you would probably just be able to make the paint and do that.
Yeah, paint takes 4 hours, and obviously if you batch make it, for every additional paint, it's an extra 2 hours.
Now,
We just got to see how long it takes for us to be able to get the cold weather.
I'd say it's
Is it
not just
day?
that, but it's also like... If Boomer were to do that and just go like, okay, we make all of this paint, then Boomers are going into this fight exhausted.
Yeah.
So, you don't want too much.
Yeah.
What time is it now?
About sunset's pretty much just about to happen, so you're looking at about 6-ish hours, roughly, past noon.
Go, 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 go. Let's go to the shops. Move.
Get quick,
Up
get
north.
quick.
From what Penelope said, you're about if you go now, you may catch the shops just before they shut. Like, you know that annoying
Yeah.
customer that comes in 2 minutes before the shop shuts.
Do you want me to leg it and get in there first and distract them?
Yes, I'm literally herding the children out the door. I don't mean to call you children. You get the. It's like, you know, when you're like, oh, have you all got your shoes on? Have you been to the toilet? Right, move, move, move.
So you all peg it down to where Penelope said, and there is a tailor's there. Gray, with your excellent agility and speed, you're able to get there. Just like a couple of the candles, they've got minimum candle light at the minute. They're just slowly packing everything away. You see a couple of the tailors just like putting away like all the different wools and cottons and fabrics and like bolts and weaves. As you come in the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Sorry, we're closing in a moment.
We won't take long. We just need 6 sets of Arctic clothing. Nothing too fancy.
Right. And you kind of just see that. Ugh. Yeah. Right. If you go to the wall on the right, there's different wolf skin pelts, different things. If you take a look, there's also light gambeson scraps which have been used into thermal trousers and stuff. Just take a look at what you need, see what fits. It will be about 3 silver a set.
Perfect. And I start browsing.
Yeah, essentially finding one that's one in your size, and maybe that because it's wolf furs, maybe something that looks a little cool as well. See if this one particular wolf had like a nice patterning or something.
Oh, cool. We're all not gonna be. I want bear. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, essentially there is just a wall of different animal furs and stuff. Just because wolf was the one that she suggested doesn't mean you'd have to go with that one. There are other animals. You're probably not sure on all of them, but there are different things that one could possibly pass as fox, bear.
Too much weakness to walk in.
You're pretty sure some of them could even pass off as dog, possibly.
Wolf.
Wolf.
Okay. So for 3 silver a set, you're all able to procure yourself a. It's not like a set of clothes that you would wear instead of. It's stuff to go on top of to provide extra protection. So like it'd be on top of your clothes, like it's like a thick, heavy fur coat that's got different weavings and patterns inside, just to help put extra layering, different fabrics and stuff that have been densely packed in.
Okay, cool. Can I ask what colour we got? Because I want white. Just like a white wolf, if
I
there's
was
one.
about to say, white will probably be preferential, because if we're going to somewhere where it's a lot of snow and we need to hide, we need white.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I wanted white. Right, why is there?
Fortunately, there isn't Arctic wolf furs, but the furs that are there, they're like a grey with like some have got like a slight brown mottling and patterning to them.
Okay.
So
I'll take a grey one.
yeah, they're not terribly perfect, but it's like a dull grey with like slight brown patterning to the fur.
As long as it's close enough to white as possible, I'll take one.
It's about the closest you're gonna get here at the minute.
Is there anything like a coat with a fur lining on the inside? 'Cause that's
If you want to buy 2 coats, you could always just put one on inside out and one on the normal way.
well, no, it's just because if you've got the furs on the outside, if it gets wet that way, if the fur's on the inside, it doesn't through to that layer.
I could attach some spare furs. We've got some scrap from like where we've made sleeves and different adjustments. I could, for a couple silver, attach some patchwork fur on the inside to provide extra if you need.
I don't mind. It was just more so you had a fair-lined coat. It's just more my style than furs on the outside, but I can deal. We're going somewhere cold. I don't need to be wearing.
Okay.
Aesthetics are important. Obviously, I've learnt that from Grey Town.
Vince, can
You
you
got what you needed.
can you let Mum know that we're going to need just a quick adjustment, please? Thank you. And you see the guy who was just doing, like, packing away some of the stuff. Just give a, all right, I'll let her know.
And I will start pulling things off the shelf, and I'm like, yes, I want this as my coat, and then on this on the inside, please. And then I'll literally
Oh
just like, it on top.
no!
I am dressed and already out the door.
Yeah, it's what's needed, and that's that.
Yep.
Well, it's 3 silver a set for everyone else. Cass will just say, for the sake
much,
of
sorry?
it's 5 silver just to get the adjustments. They're not thrilled, but they'll do it because 5 silver's 5 silver.
I'll give him the gold. Okay.
They instinctively go to give you the silver as change, and they're like,
No. It's a tip. Thank you very much for
oh,
accommodating.
fucking hell, Fluff, you scared the shit out of me, you twat. He's just jumped on the back.
Tourette's you have there.
He's just jumped on the back of a chair and scared the actual fuck out of me.
Surprise!
You see him there.
Street. Sorry, it happened.
You sorry,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Either way,
Yeah, I want just basically a brown coat and on the inside like white fur or grey fur or whatever it is, just to,
it's
as an insulation.
yeah, no, that's yeah, fuck you, cat.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Cat attack.
Fuck! Oh, you bitch! You just kicked me twice. It's easily procurable. They're able to do it like on the spot, like almost. Take about an hour to do.
Perfect. Would you like me to collect it in the morning or now?
Just get it in the morning, please. We'll be open from dawn pretty much, or at least a couple hours after once we've eaten.
Also, do you have? I know the guys have literally just bought coats and trousers and left, but can I purchase some gloves and some hats as well? Because most of the heat leaves through the head.
We don't have any.
Or earmuffs.
We don't have
I
any.
think it would be hilarious to buy them in.
Don't have any hats at the minute, but we have rolled bolts of fabric which can be used as face wrappings.
The coats would have hoods on anyway, wouldn't they?
No. Not
Yeah, but the
these.
face wrappings isn't a good idea.
What the coats had hoods on?
Essentially, what she's offering is finely done, like thick cotton. It's like it looks like a bandage, but it's unrolled, and it's designed to essentially, like, you know, the full face like turban wrappings that go around the face, not just the head.
It's new,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
up.
carpeted.
Yeah, I forgot the proper name. That's why I'm saying like face wrapping is what I'm now calling it because I've forgotten.
Like a ski mask.
Almost, yeah, but it's wrapped up like a bandage, and rather than like something you pull over, it's something you have to wrap around yourself.
Oh, great. I'll have to take one of them as well then.
Yeah,
It will keep the bottom.
those are like 2 copper a per.
Cool.
But they pretty much leave everything covered with the exception of nose and eyes.
Cool. Yeah, I will give 2 silver. And gloves as well.
They'll come with it.
Well. Are you sure you've got no earmuff?
Well,
They're sure.
we don't usually have people needing such things. Like I said, the closest we have is what you've just got.
If I give you another gold piece, could you make me like one of them? Oh, I
Let
can't.
the poor girl go
They're
bed.
called a muff, but I don't know if that's completely correct. You know the thing that you stick your hand
Mhm.
like a roll
I think I know what I mean.
as well. Please.
She'll take a couple notes, like with a bit of charcoal and a bit of parchment paper that she's got, and just, yeah, it should be possible. We can get that done.
Brilliant.
Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, no problem. Would that be another gold piece on top of for the muff and the earmuffs?
That's more than enough. You really don't have to give that much.
No, it's fine. There's another gold piece. Thank you very much for your time.
Uh,
I'll see you in the morning.
yeah. Thank you. And she'll follow you to the door and bolt it on the way as you do the last one out. And you watch as the last couple candles just get blown out.
Yay. I'm sorry. I know you guys all hated that when I finally catch up. But it's important, right? Like I'm
Very.
thinking, I
Yeah.
have bought you all like face shielding as well.
Yeah, and essentially the way it was wrapped, you were given like a square of fabric. They were all placed inside and then wrapped up like into like a little pouch, and then like a bit of thread was just put through it just to hold it together until you want to rip it open.
And gloves, and then I just
Yeah.
start piling stuff on top of whoever's closest to me, the top of their pile. I'm going to collect mine in the morning because aesthetics are important.
It's so truly important to make sure you look your best when you're killing something.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a shame when she gets it covered in fucking blood.
Uh-huh.
Bitch.
Oh, okay.
Is
Wait,
there
let me
anyone
check if I
open?
have a presentation of a cleric. I can't remember if I do.
I don't think you do, but I think Liam can
What?
get it.
I don't. Ugh.
No.
Well, I'm never actually up close and personal enough to get blood on me. I'm usually a bit further back.
Oh, you're the one who normally ends up having to help stop the rest of us that are bleeding.
Exactly, but I can use healing word and do it from afar. That was my
Great.
angelic sound.
No, I just like how you two are having this argument because of how no, it's worth it because I can preserve it. Like, look, I don't have to be near you. I can just imagine this actual argument because like Evan's all about practicality. You're on about impressions and presenting is important.
Yeah, it is very them. I
No,
do
it's
feel like
perfect.
this-
I like it.
It's probably a conversation that they've had 300 times at this point. Never gets old. Oh, come on, Evan. Do you know, I nearly bought you earmuffs and I didn't. I'm learning. It would have been
Me-
hilarious.
You mean that they hadn't got any?
No, I bought some for myself, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on them. If I had thought I could have got away with it, you would have.
Of course.
Oh, I'm just trying to make sure you're okay. I don't want bits of you falling off.
Okay.
That'll be fine. They won't be falling off. Something will be tearing them off more than likely.
Well, you know, frostbite is an actual thing.
I'm
We
aware.
should probably get better boots as well. Or at least stuff, or wear lots and lots of thick socks. If you get water in and it's cold, your toes fall off.
Ew.
This is where everyone now suddenly gets like overly cautious about their toes dropping off.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Yeah.
sandals.
Do you not remember when that horrible foot rot went through the army at that one stage? You know, where the guys were all wearing wet socks. They ended up with like bits of
Yeah.
Trench.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we very quickly figured what that was and we dealt with that.
I'm just saying, you know, if we're trudging through snow, got to be very careful. If our feet get wet, we're potentially in a lot of danger.
Mm-hmm. Acting
I know,
like
I know
I've not,
you.
it's not like I haven't had to learn this lesson before.
I know. I mean, it all worked out in the end. You know, a bit of healing can go a long way. But even then, like, I don't want any of our feline friends losing their Toby.
Stop thinking about my toe beans.
Yeah.
You would be able to punch either.
He actually wear shoes. Just looking at his feet, does he actually wear shoes, or is he just padding around in his
My
feet?
toes would be out. I'd probably wear like sandal kind things, so I can dig my claws into the floor.
Yeah,
So I
that's
will
'cause
need proper.
he's currently wearing sandals.
We'll go to the cobbler first thing in the morning. I'm sure they'll have some off boots that we can pop you in. Always good.
Mm.
Yep.
Be fun.
I also had another idea instead of using like paint.
Okay.
Oh, okay, go, go, go.
What if we use like a glue substance and put like a dye in it?
Why?
So
Instead of paint.
So you're on about making
Why are you trying to
coloured
glitter
glue.
Why are you making
Yeah.
glitter glue a thing?
D&D glitter glue. Oh my god, no! It's gonna get everywhere. Shit. Every encounter,
And I think-
every encounter, you make a perception check. Just somewhere on the next enemy, there's gonna be like that bit of glitter you missed, and you can't get rid of it. Fuck.
With all this conversation, he still managed to dodge the question of why.
Instead of using paint, because I can actually do batches a lot quicker.
So the only reason you want to do it is because it's quicker to make more glue than it is paint.
But you've also
Yeah.
got to consider the amount of glue you would make compared to paint because that 1 hour for one glue or 4 hours for paint, the quantities are much different. Because glue you'd only make a small amount, whereas paint it's referring to probably like half a litre.
So you could perhaps potentially with the paint split it.
Yeah, with glue you'd probably be making like a vial of it, whereas with paint you would be making a small pail of it.
Yeah.
I am with Evan on this one though. We can't have you going into that battle exhausted. For the benefit, the risk outweighs the benefit.
I'll hold off on that on them ideas.
I think it's an excellent idea if we are going to encounter invisible foes, but for foes that just shift about, don't know whether it'll be. Evan?
I don't believe I don't know what to say about this because Michael is disagreeing a lot with this ruling, but is going to just go with what Danny says. So
Yeah, but she's asking Evan, not Michael.
yeah, I know, but
Differentiate the
but
two,
no,
man.
no, that's the thing. There is, I don't know, so I can't really give Evan the tactical knowledge to say whether or not that worked. Because if this worked, that would be a known technique already. This isn't something we just discovered.
Okay.
We'll hold off for the now then.
This is it, and also you need to start working on your ideas for the invisible ink.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Scratching down, what are they called? The things that you have to put in when you're trying to. I can't remember. I think it begins with an
Blueprints.
I. Blueprints. There's something that begins with an I, which basically means that you have training. Intellectual property. You need to start getting.
I could say it's like a pattern. Or patient.
Pattern. That's
Pattern.
perfect.
Patent.
Yeah, you were right.
Boom is explosive ink.
Exploding ink. Oh no. The killer of scholars everywhere.
I'm sorry. This message will destruct him. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Yeah, and the sound effect is just like a very unenthusiastic boomer going, boom.
Boom.
Oh no.
Kaboom!
I mean,
Earth shattering, come on! Yeah, you're there, Liam.
You know what? I love the fact that I've given you this much power to make such stupid shit. I love it. This book, partnered with your artificiness and Boomer's just insanity, is going to be amazing.
It's gonna come up with some wacky ideas.
now, but all of a sudden we'll be like doing something that you don't expect. You know, like when you gave us the teleportation
Crystals.
gems, and we're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, we'll fuck off to the other side of the
Yeah,
world.
but
That
you're
will
not
be
at
what
least going to be able to teleport with this.
Yeah.
Maybe. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, but this is going to break any attempt at, we're already looking at breaking any attempt at stealth or invisibility or anything is getting broken now.
Sorry?
I think just with everything we found so far, any kind of hiding is now broken because of what we can make.
Probably depends what you...
I'm pretty sure we can make some paint that we can throw at someone and whisper a magic word, and it glows like a Christmas tree.
No, invisibility specifically says any item that you are carrying or wearing goes invisible. So if paint was to hit you, it would go invisible as well.
Yeah.
According to certain someone's rules.
No, I realised that afterwards. Just. Specific place.
Okay.
Moving on.
So you guys reconvene at the Jester, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Penelope is there, has kept the table for you so you haven't lost your space. Allows you to sit back down and goes, well, I'll leave you to your evening then. Just call me when you need me. I'll be waiting. Oh, and by the way, the food here's not the best. And she'll put a pouch of powder on the table. Bit of that over the food makes it right as rain, trust me. And she'll leave out the front door.
What was that?
She put a bit of powder on the table, like it's a small sack with powder on. She's saying that the food's not quite up to scratch here. If you put that on, it'll make it right as rain.
Oh, do not touch that, anybody. Do not touch. That's out of character. But if I know what that is, it's. Is it magical, Boomer? Is your detect magic? I know we've done a lot actually.
No.
I can do one later. Can I invest? Can just have a look at the powder and see if I can make any heads or tails of it.
Perception check.
Just gonna be salt, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm calling it now. It's just salt.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
The thing that you notice, and that Cass and Dia, Persephone, you would all notice immediately, is as the bag is semi-open, like there's a really scent and aroma that starts filling around you. A mix of different spices and herbs and different niceties. And it's like a really nice combination. Think of like a Mediterranean spice mix, essentially.
Curry powder.
No. Mediterranean, not Asian. But yeah, so it's like different herbs. It's like oregano, parsley, cumin, different bits and bobs. There's even like a slight chili.
North pouches, right?
Yeah, it's a pouch of dried herbs that essentially will enhance the flavour of anything you put it on. It's flavour, literally.
It tends to be before it's cooked that does its job. You don't put herbs on afterwards.
Yeah, but when you've got nothing else and the food's not great, it makes it at least somewhat better. It's garnish. Yeah, it's Flavour Town now.
Flavour Town.
Guy Fieri would be proud.
Guy Fieri, yeah, man. Fuck me, he's a throwback. Fucking hell. Is he still relevant at any point?
I think they've got like quite a few restaurants in Mercury.
Was he ever?
Wow, shots fired. Yo, Guy Fieri's coming to you.
Somebody put 50p in me.
Yeah.
No,
You are the cheap one.
But yeah, essentially, there's just a powder of spice. It just makes your food for the evening taste more enhanced and flavourful and nice if you use it. It smells fucking lovely.
I mean, what's on offer? If it's an omelette, it's a bit weird chucking in Mediterranean.
It's actually a soup. It's a potato soup.
It'll do.
And sprinkle it on, mix it in, make it a little better. Not great, but better than what it was to start. It's quite spicy as well, you notice. There's a lot of chili flakes in it.
Oh, I'm gonna go secure rooms for the night.
Thought we already had, so sure.
Yeah, you did last session because this is, I believe, it's your second day.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm very much sure. I think someone paid for like 2-3 days in advance.
It'd probably be Evan.
Sounds logical.
Evan is literally the person that keeps us all alive.
All right. So you rest for the evening, unless there's anything else anyone else wishes to do. I know, Evan, you was on about if you had time for something.
I was going to do something, but I don't think I have the time now to go and do it.
Okay.
What time is it? Has he got time? Or does it depend on what it is?
It's mid evening. It's not quite night. Yeah.
So no, my plan was to go and like next day because this is still the same night that we started talking. So
Yes, it is.
that'll be changing anytime soon. So
Okay.
If you really need to do something, though,
nope, I've sort of done what I wanted to do anyway without needing it. So
Okay.
what was it you needed?
what I was going to do was try and see if there was anybody else that was hunting after magic groups and see if they would be willing to share information. And we found a person who's doing exactly that and willing to share.
You've got it through, Joseph. Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. Nice. So, inadvertently, you got exactly what you wanted without even having to bust a brain or muscle or leg.
Literally, he came and walked to me. He walked up to me. I didn't need to do anything.
Yeah, no, perfect timing, eh?
Have you told any of us yet about this whole myth?
Nope, I intend to do it later.
To bed!
I was going to say, everyone saw the imp creature latch on to Evan, but he hasn't divulged what was just said or anything. But everyone retires. Yeah. Everyone retires for the evening.
Yeah, Boom is just going to quickly look over the ingredients, obviously for the ink, and obviously just modifying a recipe for.
Which, as far as you're aware, to make ink, you need 8 hours of time, you need water of any quality you deem worthy, and a staining pigment, again, of any quality that you deem worthy.
Yeah.
Worse quality ingredients affects the difficulty or ease of making it compared to high quality, so it's up to you if you want to spend out or be cheap, but it may affect whether it's even viable. After that, and obviously you'll need a bottle to contain it in, which afterwards you will have a bottle with a small amount of ink in.
Nice.
Not bad.
If I do have any time left, I'll carry on trying to get the bag of holding finished, if there's any space.
I would say if you're all retiring to bed right now, before you could probably squeeze in like 4 or 5 hours of work on it before actually putting your head down. Like, since when you guys have all gone up, still getting an 8-hour rest in and being awake like at dawnish, you could probably get 4 hours in or so.
Yeah.
Or are we sharing in rooms at the moment?
If I remember right, Cass and Evan are sharing, and everyone else is separate. If I remember
I believe so.
Sharing.
I believe you two are the only ones that are sharing.
Thought Boom would be able to share with somebody.
Oh, Boom.
Oh, it was so sad.
Oh no.
19.
What about Greytail or with Dia? Or Persephone?
Whoa, leave me out of this.
I don't know.
Don't worry, it's not Vaughn.
I don't mind sharing.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. It's just
Well,
how it's...
the boys sleeping together. There we go, sorted.
Okay.
Feel like I take mental space up anyway.
Yeah.
The cats will just curl up as well, you know.
Easy.
It's a joke. I don't actually mean. Also, if I was actually intending to it, I probably would have been smacked.
But rest finds you all with varying levels of comfort and difficulty, depending on your preference of bedding for the evening.
Does everyone say anything to Cass?
I would inform Cass of what I've been what I found out from Xerxes.
Yeah, Xerxes, you're right.
I was just checking because I didn't know if Michael was still here or whether he kept zoning out again.
No, I'm here. I would have told you the fact that that's what apparently they're trying to do. apparently trying to capture the next coming of.
Danny, when we were doing all our research and everything, and
Yes.
Mystra, and we read some books, right, Mystra was shunted from this world because of something to do with the Gottlieb Krieg creating tears in the weave. Am I right?
Yes, essentially. Let me double check my notes.
Titus. He was involved in some way. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. No, Yui's right. When essentially the fucking explosion that blew the world into literal pieces happened, because of her attempts to maintain the weave and stuff, and the damage sustained from the war, it disintegrated her along with it. But in doing so, she was able to... It didn't entirely destroy the weave, which is when the second Mystra, which, to most public knowledge, it's the same one, but given your intense detail and knowledge of main gods such as this, you know different. You know it's a second version, but you didn't quite know why originally until you had this book. She was able to pull together the fabric pieces and portions, and it's now much different from the original form. There is a lot more limitations and restrictions and anomalies because of the damage that was done. But the weave was maintained and is currently being maintained and looked after by this Mystra too.
I know this is more of a player.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cassid knows a little bit, but not 100%. These tears in the weave.
Yes.
When you see anything like the tear that was created when the people of the previous campaign changed the course of reality.
Similar, but that was a different fabric that was being torn, because that was more of the
fabric of reality,
space and time, right? But essentially,
The
in the
magic
sense of the
fabric
effects that had, where it created really weird paradoxes and things that occurred, translate it, but in a sense that it will affect everyone's ability to do and conduct magic, and it may, like, you may cast a light spell and instead accidentally summon a boa constrictor or some stupid shit like that. It will basically disrupt and affect all magic. Like, you could aim for one thing and a rip could make it so something else happens, or it doesn't work at all, or, you know, like, it backfires on you or something. The possibilities are great.
Is there any known way in how to find in either the weave or reality?
In the book, you had the most common known anomaly in the weave are things like wild magic sorcerers. Sorcerers that have sometimes positive, but mostly negative, uncontrollable effects when using magic, because their magic is derived from portions of the weave that has been damaged and patched back.
At the same point, is there any way, like a divining rod or anything like that, something that you could literally have that would tell you when you're near, even if it's like mentions of it, artifacts, that kind of, because I know it won't be commonplace.
In the book that you've got and the knowledge without a roll, you're not... It's possible that there is probably ways to sense such things, but there is no records in this book of finding one to know what to look for or tools they used, because the person who made this book, or the group of people that made this book, never found one.
It would make sense for, if there was a tear in the weave somewhere, it would make sense for magic users, especially ones that are trying to break beyond like the reaches of, you know, spells and the amount of power that they have to be able to do things in a day. Like, you know how we can only do so much before exhausting.
Yeah.
It would make sense if they were going to be near or close to a break in the week. It's limitless potential. Do you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Evan?
Hmm?
I was just saying, I believe that if we can find a way to find one of these splits in the weave, we might be able to find the source. Not the source. Sorry, that's the wrong way of saying it. But maybe a cluster of these
A flashpoint.
individuals. Yeah. Because if it was me and I was trying to, break beyond the realms of what can be done, I would go to a place where magic has no rules.
Might be something we need to have a look into.
I don't really know. I mean, we've got Boomer, but bless his heart, he's not really that kind of creator.
Angela and Bill's relationship came to an amicable end in 2015. And she took over running.
We
Well,
need
keep an
someone
ear
to
out for him, so if he was able to.
Yep.
I know he's. Don't get me wrong, he's absolutely brilliant, but he's more on the explosive side of things, whereas this is more of the divination.
Mm-hmm. This is something you're probably going to be an expert at eventually again.
I'm hoping so. It's going to take a long while for me to be able to walk into a room and know exactly what's happening. I do miss that. That was a lot of. Can you imagine if I'd been actually. And then she'll go on about the fact that if in the temple I could have walked in and been like, yeah, this is what they did immediately with a snap of my finger.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine though if you'd been able to walk up to any of the enemies we've faced and just kind of look at them and they scream away with their tail?
Yeah, it tended to happen when I showed up.
Do you miss those days?
They were interesting days, but I'm starting to enjoy these ones as well.
It's different.
I've not felt this. I've not had this level of challenge in a long time.
I mean, I don't really like a lot of that. Well, we were obviously very different. We always knew that. That's why we complement each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I do miss certain, like, raising people in the afterlife. Obviously, if it was that they needed to be, we wouldn't do it for everyone, as you.
I am.
That this is a new story and a new path that we paying to go all the way back, but like we're living all over again. Strange.
Yep. Just gotta start from the beginning and just make sense of our lives now.
And then, one day, once we have found them, we finally rest. Well, I know that's more. So, are we going to tell the others about this?
Sorry, I just need to ask now. Is it me that seems to be losing connection, or is it Rose? Because she seems to be cutting out a few times.
It's the ends of your sentences, Rose, as you get a little quieter. Your mic's not hearing you, and we're losing the last little bits.
Up. Is that any better?
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
What it is, I think you were going so quiet, your mic thought you wasn't talking anymore.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, sorry, I was doing a Michael. I was going quiet and being.
It's fine. I got why you did it, and I could just piece it together enough that I didn't But yeah, Michael was right.
So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, when we have finally found them, we can rest.
Yep.
Whatever that rest might be. For you and I, it's two different things.
We'll find
You're
it
not
though.
tired.
I was. Now I feel new life.
I just miss all of them quite a lot. Doesn't matter anyway, we must go on.
Yeah. You'll see them again.
It is a bit weird sometimes, don't you think, when you look at yourself in a mirror and you see a different person?
That's the difference. I don't really look in the mirror all too often.
I know, appearances are everything, Evan. How many times have I told you this? I mean, inside we are exactly the same, I know that. Don't worry, but it's a bit weird seeing your face and not seeing the one I remember. But
I know. I think.
I'm getting all soppy and sentimental. It's because I am very, very tired. But are we going to tell the others about this, or are we going to investigate? And then when we deem it necessary for them to be involved, tell them then at that
No,
point.
I think we should be able to tell them that, but at the
Cool.
moment, if even our friend is not aware of it currently, then we should try and get more evidence if that's what they're doing.
Well, this is it. So, and I will begin to pull out all the paper and my book and everything. So, when we started encountering it in this location, I've been kind of thinking about this whole, this aversion to the arcane as a means of, magic. Their dislike towards wizards and sorcerers, particularly.
Yep.
So, from what I can understand, actually, I don't understand why do they dislike them so strongly. It's because that their gifts weren't giving from the gods. There's got to be a catalyst, like something that happened at their time to create this animosity.
Now, hopefully, I'll be able to find something else about that. Oh, I do intend to see if our friend can join us tomorrow.
That would be a lot of fun.
Just for clarification for me, I'm assuming by friend you meant Joseph.
Yep.
Okay.
Joseph.
No, I was just asking for clarification for my sake.
I was saying that we were going to be doing some training, and we will be doing some training.
Fair enough.
Exactly, it's just an actual mission rather than training. Oh. I do remember how much you liked training new recruits. I'm sure you'll greatly enjoy it.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be interesting. Who knows with these, I would have said with this this unusual start, and given the fact that this deal does not seem to be a permanent hold, as he said, that was he's only holding the sword temporarily. Who knows? I may have already found my successor.
I legitimately thought the exact same thing. I mean, the similarities are quite striking. Death is only a temporary state for the two of you. The fact that you both wield weapons of great power. I mean, not anymore, obviously, since they both, but
He has the drive. Oh, he might have the drive within him to be able to carry on. So we'll just have to see.
I don't think it's the drive. I think from what we've obviously met of him, even now he still has a balance, which is what we both need.
Yeah. That's the difference. Is I look for the people with that drive. He could have it. Not quite yet, but he might.
It is kind of weird, though, don't you think? I mean, all this time we thought we needed to find elves. He was not an elf.
He doesn't know.
He's a full-bred human.
We'll see. As we seem to be finding, greatness is not just reserved for us.
I mean, we're still pretty great.
I said not reserved, but
Oh, how exciting. If he is, I am very happy for you, Evan.
You still got to again and go back up north and
Oh
fix
yeah,
things.
tell me. You imagine, like, are we going to prove this?
We don't need to do anything. Okay? If the choices are made that we just put them through the ritual, and if they're able to go through, if your candidate's able to make it through, and if I deem him worthy,
Obviously, that the two of them need to be able to do not what we can do exclusively. I mean more like, our connection. If that makes sense. I mean, I did think it would be,
yeah, maybe it's not.
the doctor and Clarissa.
Maybe.
That maybe weren't suitable.
They didn't quite seem enough like yourself. They were a different kind of intelligent.
I don't think it's that mine needs to be intelligent. I just think that they need to be able to
You
rule, essentially.
Yes, but that's the difference. Is you kind of had that wisdom and knowledge kind of tempering one another. Their
All knowledge.
their thirst for knowledge was too great. They weren't tempered.
All logical, no practical.
Well, they need a balance between the two, and they weren't. Together they could have been, but we're looking for one successor, not two.
I know we need to look for two. One for each of us. But
I
that was
I
it.
think
They
he
were
meant
both
as
on
I
one
think he
line.
meant as in representation of you, just one person.
Yeah, one each, not two.
Oh, but still, it's exciting. I'm really
Mhm.
happy for you. You know that, right?
Yeah. Just depends if it is the case.
And who would
I
have
mean, we
thought
do
you
need
met
to
that
act
person?
soon because apparently there's a whole revolution going on back.
And who'd have thought you'd have met your successor, technically in session 0? Potential successor, I should say.
Yeah, no, we just have to...
Joseph as well. I will say I like Joseph much, much better than Stevie. I'm not gonna lie. Stevie. I tried to kill Stevie at one stage as my other
Twice.
character. FYI.
Twice. You tried to kill him
I
twice.
know, I know.
You got him turned into
just
a
really
werewolf
irritated
as
me.
well. Then you nearly killed his soul twice. Then you nearly killed him actually once. You know.
Once.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I was the one who...
right, sorry.
Hey, we managed to fix that.
Yeah, but either way,
Yeah.
that old campaign.
But we do need to act quickly. If he is, then we need to find the other and take them back before they break open the gate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, you don't think it could be anyone in the group? I mean, I've been keeping an eye on them, but I really don't think they're suitable.
No.
Bless their hearts, I do think they are brilliant, and they are some of the very best people we've ever met, but still.
They're not
I
the
don't
next
have
to
the
you.
system side. Nope. Did I just say Leo make like a
You did.
Sorry, Leo. It's
Aw.
true. Right.
But-
I need to get some rest anyway, because in the morning I'm gonna... I don't know. To be honest, I don't really tend to switch. I tend to stick with like the healing ones and making sure you guys are all okay, because I'm not really about combat. That's you. I'm here to boost you. I mean, I might do some blessing.
No,
Cool.
I think, yep, it should be fine. But, let's get some rest if we're going to go hunting tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Also, we need to think of a nickname for Joseph, because Joseph is a very unusual name.
Don't think we need to take his name off of him.
No, I just mean like we can call him Joe or something. I don't know.
Jojo.
Yeah, let's... we'll see what the case is, but I think
Oh, you dare challenge me?
I'm pretty sure Joseph is fine enough.
Oh,
Call
no,
me Jar Jar Blinks.
it's lovely. I just meant, like, I mean, Eventine, you know? I don't even know what
Basically,
his
she
surname
wants
is.
to make his
Doesn't he
name.
have a girlfriend?
His name's not Elven enough. She's being a humanist.
Danny, you do know that these are, like,
I
for
know.
all intentional
I know.
purposes slightly that way. Anyway,
Oh no!
or-
Oh no! I love it because it is because like when you give me the description of how certain races and stuff are treated in that country because of prejudices and stuff, it fits perfectly. I just think it's quite funny. Like, Joseph's not good enough. We'll fix that. just take it
how
off.
that, yeah.
God
I
damn
love
it.
how that's the main thing that's come up, and yet I'm the one that's just like, nope, it's fine.
It's amazing.
No. I mean, I know how you like collecting string. You don't need to tell me. No, legitimately, that's what Evan did, wasn't it? He
No,
used
no,
to-
I know, but it sounds
I hope
really
you're not
bad.
talking about me.
No, we're not talking about you guys. This is all
Yet.
in our bedroom anyway. Get out, children. Go to bed.
Yeah,
Wall.
yeah, what it is, the rest of the party's just up the door listening, and you open the door
Oh,
and they all
yeah.
fall in.
I think my passive perception would have been able to hear the sniggering going on outside the door if that was the case.
Probably, yeah.
If that would have happened, I would have put them in bed and tucked them in myself and then come back to the room. Proper mum.
I'm pretty sure I'm remembering a Stephen King film, something to do with an axe and not an axe, a hammer and a bed.
Oh,
I'm a
hobbling.
Eh?
It's called Misery, by the way.
I'm about to say, it's enough to horrify me, and I don't want anything, but I know about it, and I'm willing to threaten
Oh,
it. So.
Kathy Bates in that movie. Just a revelation.
The night draws in.
Happens.
Yeah.
You all find your night's rest. You wake up in the morning peacefully, with the exception of Evan. You wake up, Evan, with a smack in the face. Literally. As a small red hand slaps down, smack on your face and holds it there. And as you wake up startled and go to sit up, you see Xerxes sat on your chest, holding his hand on your face.
You're lucky I
Scared
can't
you.
smite. No, you're lucky I don't smite the first thing that hits me in the morning.
Don't worry, with enough time I would be reborn anyway. I'm immortal here. But
Yes. But
you wanted to know more information when you had it, did you not?
yep.
Well, it seems that Cyrelia had been doing some information gathering while I was babysitting Joseph back to his hovel. It seems that they are holding themselves on a demi-plane of their creation, siphoning magic users of their arcane nature, using it to power different ciphers and machines for their deeds.
And Michael just needs to say, did somebody pick up? Can somebody pick up that phone? Because I fucking called it. I'm nicking that joke, but I don't care.
God damn it! They're capturing arcane users and slowly draining them of their life essence, as well as amongst other unique abilities they curtail. They currently have about a dozen or so. When we pried in, we have no access yet. That is all. And he'll release the hand. And puff of light, whoosh, flash of warmth, and it's the flash of warmth that startles you awake, Cass, given your high perception. It feels like someone just opened an oven door right like 2 inches from you.
This was now a murder investigation.
Are you okay, Evan? What happened?
It might become an issue towards him. No. I'm imagining like I've got not like it's you know like when like you get warm and your skin kind of just turns that little extra
Mm-hmm.
few extra shades red.
Yes.
Not like a burn or anything, but you just go that little
Bit
bit.
flushed.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
bit
guessing. I'm imagining just my face is like that. It's like
Oh yeah, he's got like the perfect handprint like across his face. Like the pinky and the thumb are either cheek, and then the 3 middle fingers are across his like face.
Oh, Cass is already up and in her bag, getting out some kind of tincture or something.
Oh, it'll
to
go.
cause
It'll
it-
go in a few minutes. In like, give it like 2 minutes, it'll go away. But it's there because it just happened.
Wait, so you woke up with the imp straddling you? Is that what you're trying to say? What?
stood on my chest, smacked me in the face, and then proceeded to teleport. Then proceeded to tell me that apparently wherever this group are, they're on a demi-plane separate to the rest of us, and draining those with magic potential of their power to power machines and ciphers of other kinds on this demi-plane. And then he
The
proceeded
demi-plane as well is of their own creation. Yeah.
I imagine so. So, and then he just, once it was done, it just disappeared.
They'll try and hump you.
Oh, that would be why Paul, Clarissa, and Dr. Argyle weren't able to hear.
Probably.
Wait, and I'll go through my papers. I imagine like they're literally in pajamas talking. But they're
Oh yeah, no,
like,
you guys were literally in your nightwear, like say like your armor and stuff's like separate, and you've literally got like a nightgown or something. I'd imagine.
Don't bother them. Okay, so when we were in the Temple to Mystra, there was this circle, right?
Yeah.
Is that potentially could that be what they're using to transport between this demiplane? Because from my knowledge of demiplane spells, it's that I don't know. I don't know whether it would be extenuated because of the number of them, but essentially you have to kind of create the demiplane. Everybody walks in and then close the door, so it's not like something you can keep opening up the door across the world. It's just the creator that opens the door. You all step and close it. So
And then probably using some sort of plane shift to go in and out.
yeah, they might need something to attach. Demiplane.
If it's the same kind of things if it's the same kind of things, what plane shift works the same way as teleportation does, or something like that. Can't you target circles on other planes if you know them?
Yes.
You have to have a fork.
Yeah, you have to have something that attunes it to help. But that helps. I don't think you need that, but I believe it aids. Let me.
No, I think.
But basically, it's
I'll grab
essentially, if you know where the teleportation circle is on the plane, then you can go to that circle.
I'm pulling the spell up while you two are talking.
So yeah, it's a combination of two, isn't it? The plane shift so the fork will get you to that plane, and you choose a teleportation circle to go to that one. So it's almost like you go on the train on the subway, but you have to know what station you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You
have to have a ticket. Basically, you have to have a ticket to ride, and you have to know what station you're getting off at.
Exactly. Ticket to Ride is a great board game, by the way, people.
Oh, it's a great game. No, it's got to be on the same plane of existence to do teleportation circle.
Not plane shift, though.
Oh no, plane shift. I thought you were on about teleportation circle.
No, I'm saying teleportation circles can be used as targets on other planes.
Well, no, because teleportation circle here specifies it has to be on. You have to know the circle, and it has to.
No, you've cast the spell teleportation circle to make it permanent.
Yeah.
And then you use plane shift to target that.
Yes, that would work. That would work entirely.
That is exactly how it works. So.
This is it.
I will slap the shit out of you, Michael. Don't make me come bite you. Sassy motherfucker tonight, I swear to God. He's such sass.
Michael! I thought we've all agreed that Michael is brilliant and sassy.
Oh, Michael is hands down the sassiest person I know in actual real life. Hands down.
Brilliant.
It's amazing.
Welcome.
But either way.
So, that's how they're getting between it. I mean, demiplanes don't use the same kind of gates. You know, like, for example, the gate underneath the church. That's a gate, because it's a proper plane. This is
It's a
different,
gap.
right?
Yeah, it's a gap between the two. The demiplane is something probably separate from all of it.
Meaning it needs a tether to this place. It's not something you can open a door up anywhere if you have a magic word. I don't think they work like. I mean, I might be wrong. Most of my kind of speciality was with, you know, resurrection cloning. So,
To be fair, I have no idea either. It kind of goes all over my head because Evan is a paladin and therefore would have no idea about magic theory.
man, I've chucked enough books in your direction. I'm sure you would have picked up a nod.
Yeah, I picked up how to dodge.
Nice. He's got.
I can just imagine.
He's got the
back in,
evasion.
like, the
he's-
library.
No, he's got the rogue's evasion skill, but for some reason this one only works for literature.
It does seem a bit kind of.
I
I just
mean,
got this picture of them back home in the big library, and Cass is literally chucking books at him.
Yeah.
Like, read it.
Yeah. I'm having, and the thought going through my mind of if you can dodge a book, you can dodge a fireball goes through my mind.
Nice. But
No, the mechanics don't work on that one, Michael.
But the morning is ahead of you guys. You are able, Cass, to procure your clothing items that you so delicately requested. And it's already been paid for, so you don't have to worry about that.
How much would shoes be? Well, snow boots.
Probably like 4 or 5 copper.
Yep, done.
They're by no means
I
pretty,
think
but they'll
probably
work.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
Say that again, Rose?
I'll pay for everybody and get us all. I'll put a gold down.
Okay. So, in terms of protection from extreme colds, the party has more than enough equipment between them that it should not now be an issue causing any negative or ill effects while out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
You obviously don't fall in cold water because everything goes out the fucking window. Sorry to swear, and I do apologise for cursing, but trust me, if you drop in cold water, we will have to strip you down because it's the only way to get it sorted, and that's going to be dodgy for all of us. And she'll talk as they're going towards the meeting point with Penelope at this point to be like, right, okay. Also, don't panic. And she's been
How will I suffer under cold water? Because I live in cold water.
You'll have protection against it, but not entirely. You'll basically like a Goliath would be. You'd have some resistance to it, but it would still affect you to a degree.
If you were taking actual cold damage, I don't believe as a sea elf
No.
that you have resistance to cold damage.
They don't.
So it's more RP, less mechanical.
Yeah.
I'd say if you had even resistance to cold, then freezing like you don't get cold, you don't suffer the exhaustion or anything under the same circumstances we would be.
Yeah, but you've nullified all the potential hazards as it stands for weather-inducing effects. So we'll see. You know to meet Penelope at her tent, which is in the marketplace in town. If everyone has everything they need, go on.
Yeah. Is Joseph around or waiting or whatever when you showed up?
You never asked Joseph to meet you. You offered the training, but obviously you didn't specify when, did you?
Okay. I would have mentioned about the possibility of it then to Xerxes before.
Just
he
say,
off.
fucking tell Joseph this, yeah.
Essentially, we're planning on going for travel. If he wants to join in, meet us at this place in blah blah blah.
Yeah, he'll be there. Lucky that because it was going to be basically high or low. No worries, Rose. Yeah, no, Joseph will be. I nearly said Joshua for some reason. Joseph. It's Joseph. Joshua's his brother. Don't worry about it. Joseph will be there and be just like, I've got
And you
nothing.
can get some training in.
I've got nothing better to do than I've helped pay for some farmhands for the farm, so they don't need my help there. So I suppose it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's brought a couple of like thick layers of thick clothing and stuff, but he hasn't got to the level you guys have because he didn't have the time to prepare.
From my understanding, he was saying that armor gives him some protection.
It does. It does. He said it gives him protection from the elements and normal.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Penelope meets you all and goes, well, I told me that I was coming, so I was expecting you. She's just inside. Just go and pop in. She'll put the thick, heavy coin, the one that's unique, that basically opens the entire shop. Just pop in. She's in there waiting for you. That was really hard to say. I told me. That actually fucked my brain a little bit. Just a little bit. That sentence was painful. But you all
have no one to blame but you.
Oh, I know. But it's fun, so whatever. Inside, you can see tending to a couple of the shelves is Penelope, as Penelope shuts the curtain behind you. Welcome. So, you're ready to go, yes? I assume everything's in order. I can see you're wearing much thicker clothing. Good, you'll need that. And, hello, handsome. I don't believe I've met you, neither. And saying this to Joseph. And Joseph just kind of goes, yeah, I'm going with Evan. He's helping me train with the swords and stuff. Oh, fantastic. Well, an extra pair of hands won't hurt. So, you get one of the 3 tails and as many spines you need and stuff off that, as well as the blood. Pelts, the other 2 tails, and anything else you think might be of worth, for me at least, comes to me, and anything else in between I'm sure we can sort out later. Sound fair? In payment, I get you down there, get you back, if you need, unless I can more than happily let you walk back, but I'm sure you would prefer me picking you up.
Oh, yeah. Could I also ask for some extra jars as well, just to put the blood and all that in?
You're exactly right. I forgot. That is my bad. And she'll wave a hand and one of the glass cabinets will open and a small box will come forward and you'll just hear the clinking of glass. This should be enough, surely. There's a few vials in there for some of the more delicate things. In there is 8 vials and 10 jars. All with corks and stoppers. And keep the box if you want, I don't mind. Got plenty of them. So yeah, you've got a box that's got 8 vials and 10 jars. And the way it is, it's like 2 jars side by side. And then in the little diamond-shaped gap between them, that's where all the vials are sat. And obviously there's more sat in different gaps where they can.
Yeah. I shall place that into my bag of holding.
Yep. Now you have all those. Right, so, is there anything else you people need? Anything from here while you still don't have much in the way of low-end healing potions and salves and things? Got cleared out a couple days ago. But anything useful you might need, or are you all ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready.
I think we're ready to go.
Brilliant. So, let's go, shall we? As she flourishes and raises a hand, flicks the fingers, and casts teleport. Oh wait, no, doesn't matter actually, because it's an associated object. It automatically succeeds. Didn't need to roll. Lucky, because that was a pretty shit roll. But you pop. The hand, everyone's vision flashes for a second and then comes back. You're in the exact same place. There we go. Perfect. And she will cast a message spell. Open the door, will you please? I'm here. Thank you, dear. And you'll notice that outside of the tent, It's a different setting to when you entered. This town is much colder. There is a thin layer of snow covering most of the town, as you are now in Kulmar.
And have you got a map for that?
No.
Hey.
2 sessions in a row, you've caught me with a town that I don't have a map for. I basically have maps for every town, Havelter, Frosselger, and Northwood. So we'll use the world map. But next session there will be a town map and stuff, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Town map for all 7 seconds that we're here.
I've got to make them all eventually, so, you know. Right, there we go. Don't ask me to go out there, it's too fucking cold. She can deal with it. But, here you are in Kulmar. Do as you need, and good luck. Don't get killed, please. I like you all. I really would hate to find you dead.
You would hate to be dead, Sam.
That's the spirit. Well, farewell. I can continue my work here at least. It seems there's a couple of things I can do, so... Go on, shoo. You all...
We are shooed.
You all get shooed. You're immediately met with the warmth and tempered climate is immediately met with the bitter, horrific, cold and hostile environment, as the temperature here is arguably 5 or 6 degrees less, which is significant. It's about 12 to 20 on the Fahrenheit for you freedom unit measurers.
Bloody.
I don't know what the exact conversion rate is, but that sounds about right.
So it's in the minuses, it's in the...
Oh,
Yeah.
it's most definitely in the minuses here.
Oh yeah, like if for the sake of real world temperatures in Celsius, you're probably looking at about 0, if not less. Bear in mind that's during the day.
Oh, nice.
At night, you're probably going to get much worse, and you've got to go further south than this.
I've got to ask you which direction are we going.
Yeah, so tents might be a good idea.
Yes, but we can purchase those out of session, and we'll start next session with your travelwards southward. So essentially, we can discuss out of character, like in a moment when I say goodbye to everyone watching, which we've done really, really well with. We've had a lot of people watching, which is really nice to see. So
Nice.
we can discuss basically, like, if you want to purchase things like tents and stuff, like you just mentioned, we can just do that out of character. Because it'll be book price pretty much. That's not an issue. But for everyone watching, thank you so much. You have been a pleasure to have. And I will be seeing you lot tomorrow with Hunt Showdown, possibly. Given Hades has now since concluded, we've got to find something to fill the Sundays with. So, we'll see. It's a bit of a variety. We'll see how things go, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love, and see you later.